Tonight on 8.5-bit, the future, the present, and magic. Welcome, I'll start that again. Welcome, friends of all designs, to episode 248 of 8.5-bit, which I'm sure is going to be the most this episode of them all. I'm your host, Paul, and joining me today are my good friends, James.
Hello.
And me.
Hello.
My best friend. Actually, Dusty's my best friend.
Oh, more than Toast?
Oh, yes. Well, because I like a friend that's obsessed with me. Toast just loves me as a son.
Yeah.
Dusty is obsessed with me like a stalker. It's great. The other day, I couldn't find him. And I hadn't seen him for like 20 minutes, and that was crazy. Turned out he followed me into the garage and did not come out when I shut the door.
Oh, he was locked in there.
So he was in the garage.
Was
for
he
20
crying?
minutes. No, he was just very happy. Oh, yes, it's you again. Thank you for not leaving me to burn to death boil to death in the garage.
Yeah, that could have ended really bad.
Yeah. So tonight's episode will be something along the lines of talking about video games for the next year, what we're expecting, also just randomly what we're playing and all bullshit as well. Yes. Video games.
Yeah.
Can we talk about some news? No, we'll save the news.
No.
This is so good.
Oh, did news?
No. That's the magic.
Oh.
We'll save it after some video games we've been playing.
Yes.
Or unless, is there anything like in the real world you want to discuss? I just feel like there's lots of video games and I don't care about life. I bought a TV and a fridge.
I did. I just checked out your fridge.
Yeah.
It's a good fridge. I'm a little jealous of your fridge.
I admittedly have had a fridge most of my life.
Yeah.
When I was young and I went to a rich person's house, they had water in the fridge, and I thought, what majesty is this? But now my fridge will have water tapped through
and
it.
automatic ice.
Yes.
Because you never have ice when you want it. Because you empty the ice.
I mean,
but you never
we
fill
do,
up the
but
ice.
I fill up a lot of ice.
Nah, see, I'm
But that's
just
the problem.
too lazy.
I spend a lot of time dealing with ice and water. So half my fridge is like bottles of water. So I actually gain all like 8 litres worth of fridge back.
The fridge is already bigger than your old one, right?
It's about on par.
Yeah.
But space-wise, it's better organised and you lose less space.
It has 3 drawers or 3 sections.
It has 3 sections.
Yeah.
It has 2 drawers. One of the drawers is malleable. So if you're having a party, you can put the stuff in the little middle drawer and say, quick, cool. And it will beep when your drinks are cool. I don't really
handy.
care about that.
You do.
I actually just want to use that middle drawer for like what I'm going to cook that night or something. Okay, the short-term freezer stuff. Because that's also where the ice is. So many things to discover with my fridge. Is everyone excited for my refrigerator? Yes. Well timed, James.
Thank you.
I bet that didn't pick up in the microphones at all. Now it did.
There we go.
Now you can die happy.
Yeah, finally.
Finally. Some sweet relief.
Yeah. Nothing else. Getting married this year.
Yes,
That's happening.
I've been not really helping your fiance plan stuff. I've offered to help.
Yes.
And really, I'm just a bit of a sounding board, which I think is all she really
That's
needs.
pretty much all she wants.
Because actual help, that will require effort on my part.
Yeah, and she just wants to bounce ideas.
Yeah.
So trying to think honeymoon. What I'm going to do. I kind of like the idea of Japan.
You have not been.
I have
That's
never
correct.
been to Japan.
But she has.
She has, but she wants to go again. I think when she last went, she went with like this tour group with her mum.
Yes.
And so it was very structured and full of elderly
Not
Chinese
wild
ladies.
like you.
Yeah.
You just
Crazy action-packed James.
He's going to sit in the bath and play your DS.
And I'll switch.
Well, he'll be like, oh wait, no, there is a Pokemon on the Switch now.
Yeah. Oh, and there's also Diablo 3. New season just started.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I bet it's great.
Oh, it's by default everyone now has the Ring of Grandeur.
James.
Yes.
I did not care. I did not care.
Which reduces the set requirements by all items by 1.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's gonna...
if I need the full set of armor, I can just not have the hat now.
Yes.
That's what an incredible breakthrough this is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Think
it does sound fun. It's whatever.
Actually, we'll mix up the meta a bit. So, like it's doing its job.
I don't think I, in my life, have ever been required to operate with the meta of a video game. It's just like, I understand the mechanics. I
Yeah.
might be good at it.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just never going to play it enough to care about
It actually
the
took
meta.
me a little while to figure out what people say when they mean meta.
Yes.
'Cause, like,
Well, I mean, it can be a different thing.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
different
because like
games.
people talk about the meta. But it's such a broad catch-all term for. It's really like, what are the dominant strategies?
Yes.
Like that's really all it's saying.
The people that are obsessed with this and trying to min-max it to
Yes.
a degree, they're trying to be optimal. What is currently the optimal way
Yeah.
of playing this?
Yes.
And that's where things are balanced and people argue over where it should be and everything.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, I can't believe they put, I don't know, a +2 on this card in Hearthstone. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I once played a game and won. And then I played another one and I lost.
It's like that time I played Fortnite once on my phone and
like,
won.
we'll never engage in the Fortnite meta because we haven't
No.
engaged in the Fortnite video game.
No, I tried. I actually did try again a couple of months ago. I was like, I'm going to give this Fortnite thing a go. It is one of the most inaccessible games I've ever played. Like just in terms of like for my the skills that I have now. Like most games I can jump into and I will be competent in some element of it. But this game is so dependent on the building. And the building is this whole new skill that I don't know. I can't build a mansion while I flick my wrist.
Or an IKEA desk.
That shit takes time.
Well, it normally requires
yeah.
a phone call to me.
So, yeah, it does.
And I quite enjoy
Yeah.
building IKEA desks.
So I tried it, and I was playing with some people at work at the time.
Uh-huh.
I was like, oh, this battle royale thing, like when there's people in the same room as you, it's actually really fun. Even just duos, like this is really cool. But then you come across someone and you shoot them, and suddenly a mansion appears. And I'm like, well, I guess I have to get good at building mansions real quick.
Or destroying mansions very quickly.
And so I stopped playing. And I thought, oh, you know what? I actually might like Blackout a bit more.
Maybe we should play Fortnite Defend the Night or whatever it's called.
Oh,
these
like the actual
days.
base game.
And then you can learn to build.
I can build. Or I
Yeah.
could just play something else.
Could you?
Yeah.
Could you, James?
Yeah,
I mean,
yes.
if it's not Fortnite, is it really a game these days?
Well, I tried to play Blackout, the Blops Blackout.
Yeah.
Because, it went free to play. Or not free. Sorry, I had a free weekend. Just the...
Did it?
Yes.
I would have tried that, but I didn't know what was happening.
Yeah, and I think it said a lot for the state of that game, at least on PC, that during this free period, well, you didn't even know to start off with, I jumped into it just like do a solo game, and I couldn't get a game going. It just didn't start. Couldn't get enough
I
people.
gotta say, I bet that's on your something.
No, because people were commenting in the game about how this number was
That's
higher.
weird. It's very well populated.
Apparently PC solo, not so much.
Oh, maybe solo.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, so I kind of I did that for a while. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess I can't. I ran around the map a little bit.
Good job.
Yeah.
But maybe we should play Blackout Club instead.
What's that one?
That's some ex-Bioshock devs, would you believe, are making a video game.
Oh.
Blackout Club is like suburban kids that then have to go under the town,
yes.
and
Yep,
it's a randomly generated sort of world underneath the town. I haven't really played any of it, but I like the idea.
Yeah. Oh, Cal just jumped in too. We're actually streaming this show today. I haven't done it in a while.
Yeah, but what's the point of talking about it when they can't be on it because they're all listening?
No,
to
but
pre-recorded?
Cal's listening.
Cal's here. He can listen to.
Hey,
us.
Cal, how you going,
But I was
buddy?
at work with him today.
I haven't seen
And
Cal
he's
in there.
very tired.
Is he? Oh.
I made him work in a room. He's been there for days with no air conditioning. He literally has been there for days.
I'm sorry, Cal. Oh,
We got
I'm sure there's some occupational health and safety
I was
issues
waiting
there.
for all these computers to be delivered.
Yeah.
And they were a day late, and I just had to go home to get a delivery. And as soon as I left the school, I got the call saying they were coming. So he had to unpack them all himself.
Oh,
It's very nice of me to do.
I'm sorry, Cal.
This is what's good about being the
Sorry.
boss. It's good to be king.
You get to delegate ruthlessly to Cal.
Exactly.
Mainly to Cal.
And I can't give it to the other tech there because he's not quite there yet, but he's going to Antarctica. You could go there for your honeymoon. Nice and chilly. I know how you prefer the cold to the heat.
It's actually changed a bit. I kind of prefer the heat a bit more now.
Well, it was a joke for you and me. It wasn't for the audience.
Okay.
It was that you were the fucking madman saying, I think Brisbane's pretty good. Maybe move a bit north. Yeah, it'd be nice up around Townsville, Cairns. Yeah. And we're all in Melbourne, like, comfortably wearing a light jacket. And having a nice
God,
time.
but it's so dry.
And you're like, oh, no.
Oh, my skin and sinuses. I just get back to Brisbane and... Oh, breathe in the humidity. That's great.
Yeah. Well, most of that humidity is just the sweat steaming off my body.
Yeah,
So
no, that's fine. That'll do.
It's about the only time I'm allowed to get a fluid inside you. So, video games.
Yeah, video games.
I thought we could mention that by the time this is released, because I'm releasing it on the weekend now,
Yes.
Resident Evil 2 will be released. The remake.
Yes.
Which the demo came out this last week and had a huge amount of people playing it. And I believe the pre-orders are basically the highest the series has ever had.
Yeah.
It's looking to be quite the hit.
Because I actually didn't play the demo. And I didn't because I saw the reactions.
Yeah.
And that actually it turned me off. I was like, well, these reactions sound great. I'm just going to wait for it. And I'll just go in.
Wait to play it with Paul.
Yeah,
later.
yeah. It's like the impressions have sold me from other people. So
I guess that's the general gist. There's not a whole lot to say other than it works. It looks great. It's because I never played the original Resident Evil 2. So I went back and watched some. It's like, oh, okay, you've captured most of this, but it's a game that plays a lot better, which means you can make it more of a shooter if you wanted to, especially on PC. I played it on PC and on PS4.
Yeah.
PS4, I'm like, it's a bit scrappy whether or not I should fight something or just run through it. Is it worth the ammo? On PC, it's like, I could just headshot everything and that's fine. I finished the demo with like 60 extra rounds.
So do you think that the PC version is going to be less scary than the...
I don't know how scary either of them will be. It just matters.
less tense because you've got so much better control over the
yeah, but
aiming.
Even so, you find horror games a little bit harder to play than I, but at the same time, when we play them, you're better at shooting things because I'm just not that good with a controller when it comes to aiming. You're still more scared than I am, even though you're better at shooting things. So, I don't know. I think we're about on par. Plus, it looks really good. It runs really well. It looks like it's going to be knocked out of the park.
Yeah. So, was it running 30 on PS4 or 60?
I imagine it was 30 on
30,
standard PS4. I didn't test.
But probably.
Yeah, it didn't feel like, wow, this is 60 smooth. It felt like this is regular game
smooth.
This is God of War smooth. Oh, now that I put it like that, it really should be 60. Because God of War just looks so much better. Why doesn't Resident Evil 2 look like God of War? These are the real questions we should be asking.
Hard-hitting questions.
Yes. So that looks really good. And we'll actually probably be playing it by the time this... Well, I don't know. What are you doing this weekend?
Not too much. So, yeah, we'll probably play this weekend.
I'm pretty busy. Okay. That's a classic. Fuck you.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll work something out. Other things I've been playing that since we last on my list here, I grabbed Beat Saber for PlayStation VR.
Yes.
So I was at a friend's place and he had a Vive. Actually, it was an Oculus. And I played it there and I thought, this game is amazing. There's nothing really new there. And that it's a virtual reality rhythm game where you're swinging swords around. Felt very responsive. And I'm like, this is great. I bet I could sell my wife on this. But I don't know how good it will be on the PSVR because the tracking issues and everything. Well, it's good. Don't know if... Because this is, you're moving very fast. Absolutely perfect.
You're fine,
No problem whatsoever. And my wife loved it. And the first time she would come in and request, hey, could you turn on the VR for me and get in there?
Did you pick it up when it was on sale?
Yes, I think it was a little bit on sale, but not much. It was still quite expensive.
Yeah, because I think it's like a $50 game or something like that.
Something like that. It's a pretty full price game. It also doesn't have that much of a track list. And they are releasing 30 more songs this year. Well, at least 30 more planned songs. I don't know if that's the overall year. They might do more after that. So if you have the choice, but the PC version is a much better choice because it has a whole community of people building songs. What's built into it is quite limited, and you've really got to love that that specific brand of techno and electronica because there ain't much else. But that said, even though it's not my style of music, the movement and everything, the way it's put together was so much fun. I didn't really care.
Have you knocked anything over yet?
No. I slammed my hand against a few things once in a while, but I haven't caused any real issues. A few games I've played which are more like free roaming games. I have walked into the wall behind me and stuff. I'm like, no, just don't let me turn. Just tell me to stop turning and turn with the camera.
Yeah.
It's like,
I'm sure in PlayStation 5 we're going to get much better kind of room detection and
surprisingly the room detection stuff is really good in the PSVR. That's why it lets me turn all the way around. It's just that move controllers that can get a little bit fucked up because it can't track those. I can be facing away from it and it still seems to track me pretty well. But yes, the games aren't built for it.
Yeah.
Sort of like, and also yes, there's no boundary detection. There's no like, watch out, you're about to walk into the wall.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
just fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was. Yeah, I've played a few other VR games. Nothing too exciting.
Yeah, because I
stuff.
jumped into Tetris Effect.
Oh yes.
So that was the
you
first...
went there. Didn't someone give it to you?
Yeah, it was for a birthday present.
Yes.
So yeah, because like I played the demo and I really enjoyed it, and I hadn't tried it in VR, and it is definitely it's a great experience, like the base experience, but in the VR, yeah, like it's. I don't want to say like I probably wouldn't play it as long as say like when I was playing Tetris on my DS.
No, it's quite although one thing I've heard, so once you finish the whole journey mode, you can play the journey mode in one sitting, like it with no breaks, and doing that in VR is apparently quite the experience against the senses. Yeah,
because I find like it's definitely very kind of relaxing to sit in, and like it does you definitely feel very engaged with the whole experience, like when you're in there surrounded by everything and the world's coming alive as dolphins are going past, and it does a great job at kind of starting off simple and then layering things in, and like you get into a great flow, but I haven't found it's quite like playing Tetris on the toilet where I'm kind of engaged with a tiny screen.
I would hope not.
Yeah, it's a bit different. Where I can see.
Have you tried it on the toilet?
VR on the toilet. Oh.
Now we're living the dream.
Now we're thinking.
Now we're living the Wall-E dream.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it does. I think going in kind of VR does add a lot. Like it does change the experience. Probably not as much as I thought. And
I mean, it doesn't change the game in any way.
No. I think
it's only experience.
Yeah, I think the thing that surprised me is like it wasn't like I wanted to sit into it as much as I like for like a long period of time. Like I thought it'd be something where like I'm going to put this on and I'm going to sit there for like 2 hours playing Tetris, but not quite so much that. Where I found something like Static was like Static that I could sit there and play that for 2 hours, and I'd be a happy man
and be finished with the game pretty much,
and pretty much be done with the game. Yeah.
But it was a good 2 hours.
Yeah, where Tetris is like I feel like some Tetris, I played this for 20-30 minutes, it is a great experience, but then I'm kind of done, like I'll kind of go do something else.
I mean that's what I use Tetris for anyway. For a while I was doing it every night before bed. Now I've just been playing other things. I'll get back to it because Tetris never gets old. No, it's just there forever. Okay, another little thing that came out, Rami Ismail of Rami Ismail fame, of Twitter fame, of I guess video game fame. Yeah. He released a little project this year, free to download. It's called Meditations. Have you downloaded this at all?
No, I haven't.
So, well, you missed out on a lot. So, Meditations is a little project that he's put together, which is 365, or maybe it's 4, or maybe it's 6. I remember it was like maybe one or not quite off. Video games that every day you start up the program and you play a small experience that somebody has made. And so he's curated them. At the beginning of each month, the program will download most of the data required for the next month, so it's only in one download at the beginning of each month. You only get to play each game once. I think, you're going to play it once. It's only available for that day. So it's just like an idea. I did start running into a few that were like, whoo, I guess you can't be too choosy when you're doing
364 or whatever.
This is like a real basic web page sort of nothing.
Yeah.
But like today's one was when I was 11, I almost drowned, and it opens up and it's a full 3D and it's like next to an island. Then the camera pulls back and there's like a relatively sort of pumping tune, and you're just splashing in the water. And every couple of seconds, you like, and you go under the water, and all the sound effects like sort of get muffled out, and you're struggling to breathe. And then you get back up, and because it had actually become inactive, no controls were doing anything. I actually clicked off the window before the game started, so I thought it was non-interactive. And I thought I was just going to sit and watch this person drown. After a while, I went, wait, and I clicked on it. I can actually swim.
Yeah.
So you had to swim back to the island. You get back to the island, call on it, then it closes, and never see that again. It's like really like it was really nice presentation, really nice put together.
If anyone's trying to archive these things, like some bright sparks, they're trying to find a way. I
think they specifically built it to combat that. So whilst obviously anything's possible, and certainly I'm sure there's people recording footage of each one of them. I think the whole point is that he's supposed to be temporary.
I remember, I think it was on Facebook. I saw a post from Rami. It was like a couple of weeks before the new year,
Uh-huh.
and he was desperately looking for someone who knows a lot about launches.
Yeah.
So I think he was trying to find someone who would have a fair bit of skill in
Yeah.
giving him that experience that he wants. But yeah, I don't know. I just think that it's executable code on your computer. Like someone, I kind of expect someone will figure it out.
Yeah, but I mean, also, I guess the thing is, at a certain point, it's like how, with this stuff coming and going as well, whilst you can copy things, obviously, and everything, it's like, well, it's very varied. There's nothing really to compare to because the stuff's gone. And the next day's things are totally... Because some of them are like Unity projects, some of them are HTML projects. So they can be sort of anything. Yeah. It sort of reminded me of when I get into a game jam and I like, you know what, Paul? I'm going to sit down. I'm going to play 200 games this weekend. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And then about 50 games in, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah, no, that's actually probably a good comparison. Because it's not like there's ever much of a desire to go back and get those back again, right? Like, you kind of like, you go, well, what was it the London Dare this time
like,
around?
If there was a London Dare like meditations, I would be all over that because it's also something that is someone's gone through and done sort of the cleanup and everything. Because when I'm doing like the 100 games download thing, oh man, I've got all different launches and types of things, and this wanted to do this as a dependency, and I got to install that. But no, that's not the version that this other one wanted. Like, holy shit! But someone that's actually just done that little bit of extra work to put it all in a single package actually be really cool.
Yeah, if that tech is there, it actually could be. If once this year's done, potentially could be like a kind of cool ongoing thing where if you could go to like London Dare and like, well, let's just keep
and
keep,
actually
keep this thing going.
That would be kind of nice at the end of those sort of larger game jams to sort of take. We're going to sort of cut off because people vote on them and everything.
Yeah.
So take sort of like the top 100 and package it into a thing. I mean, there's no money in it, so I'm not sure how much inspiration, but I mean, there's no money in this either. But yeah, making that just like I'm going to download this jam and look at all the ideas and just like a nice launcher and a package that isn't going to fill my computer with shit. Which they generally do.
Yeah. And like if that was a nice constraint of the jam of like, anything you make must run, through this thing.
Run here and be in self-delete afterwards.
And then get self-destruct.
Maybe it doesn't have to self-destruct, but it should have to at least remove all trace of itself on the computer, I think. I mean, there's been some fun things like that in the past. Anyway, so that's Meditations. It's free to download. It's just an interesting little thing. It'll take you like 2-3 minutes a day. Yeah, I remember like the first one was just like some basic sort of sliding puzzle style game. Had a couple good ideas, and then 5 levels in it ended. I'm like, oh, good. Great.
Yeah, I'm done.
Which, oh god, a very, very short side. A game I've been playing on the Switch, Grab Lab. I thought this dumb, well, not dumb, it just looked like a simple puzzle game, which I partly misunderstood. So the mechanic is basically you can walk on all surfaces and you can and you can fire an arm directly above you, so no matter what orientation you're facing. And then it will grab that surface, you'll go to that, and then you'll start walking on that surface. What I didn't realize is that it auto walks. So if you need him to walk a certain direction, you need to like get him on something to get him to turn around and then jump back and stuff like that. The game's very solid. It's fine. It's a couple of bucks on there. It's like, it's not a big game. It's not. I'm not putting myself out like you must get this, but it has one major fucking crime, which I cannot believe. Okay, so every time you do a level, you get like 3 coins.
Yeah.
Now, if you die on a level, you can spend 10 coins to retry, which basically just puts you at the point of death. I don't know if it moves you back to the starting location, but keeps you like the things you've collected or not. Either way, it's a puzzle game, so I'm like, why would I ever want to do that?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, this game only uses one button, and when you die in a level, it will automatically select the spend coins thing.
Yeah.
And because it's like an insta-death thing, if you're about to hit some spikes and you're going to jump just before the spikes, but you go a little bit too late, and you die, you jump, and you've instantly spent 10 coins to restart a level where you don't want to restart it, you just want to go back to the beginning of it. I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, even just down select?
Yeah, or like, a hold,
Yeah, hold anything. Man, I have spent, I don't know how many coins in that game just because, I was going to buy a stupid costume. But now I guess I'm just buying a thing I didn't want. Yeah. Thank you. Man, I actually did mean to write to them. I should just write to them and go, please just have the other options selected by default and have me move.
Have a delay. Block input for a second.
Yes, block input for 1 second. Yeah. Yes, that
just
would be
go
fine.
like, you've died.
There's so many options. The fact that you can miss a jump and you've instantly done something else in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tantamount to its restart, how fast its restarts are. Great. I like something that restarts.
That's
fast.
a tight loop, right
Just
there.
take that one thing out.
Yeah.
It's insane. Okay. Let's talk about some news before we start talking about games of the next year. Because there's some great fucking news. Okay, let's start with the mildest news. The mildest news is Rocket League has finally got crossplay on the PS4.
Yay.
Yay! You can't form parties with people from other thing, and apparently that might be changing soon in the future with the next patch coming out. But you can play. People can play crossplay now. That's great. Next up.
So the floodgates have opened? The precedent is set?
Yes, the president has set.
Yeah.
The president has said.
The president has said.
The president has said. Next up. The game Atlas, which is actually on our games coming out this year, but it's already come out. It came out because early access.
Yep.
It's the creators of Ark.
Man, I love when I saw that video and I sent it to my friends.
Which video?
The original Atlas video.
Oh yeah,
you know the one they had it like
it was the
Game Awards, yeah. And it's like, you know that what you wanted Sea of Thieves to be? Here it is. I'm like, oh, this looks fun.
And then they see the developer of Ark and they go,
oh.
Anyway, so there's the developers of Ark, which I'm sure they have a name, but I don't know it.
Yeah.
So I'll call them developers of Ark. Decided they were going to make basically MMO style survival pirate game. And quite honestly, I did quite like that first trailer.
It's a good trailer.
It was cool.
Yeah.
The idea is solid. I think everyone is dying for the pirate game.
Yeah.
We just haven't had it yet.
Yeah.
There were like, I remember there was a Pirates of the Caribbean game that was in development that got cancelled that looked really interesting. You know, we hoped Skull and Bones was going to be it, but then it was only naval warfare. It's like, oh, we want to do some stabbing as well.
I have been watching the occasional Sea of Thieves developer update.
Oh.
They just get more and more tired.
Oh.
Like, you can see, like, the soul, like, just, like, it's a little bit more dead. The fire is a little bit dimmer, like, after every episode.
I can't watch their updates because all their updates are like, here's a 15-minute video with literally no footage in it.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? Give me a 2-minute video with just showing, like, here's the 3 things we made. And people are... it's launched. It has its problems. It is basically using the same technology of Ark, which has its own problems already. It uses so much the same technology of Ark. It got a little bit silly this week, and they shut the game down. When people started... Well, initially, there's some great videos of people just having naval battles, and suddenly whales are just spawning in from nowhere. And then... I can't remember what spawned next. It was still somewhat on point. And then suddenly... like a biplane crashed into one of the pirate ships.
There's biplanes in it?
And then they started spawning tanks all over the world. And then they started spawning dragons and stuff from Ark.
Well, when it came out, wasn't there that hidden menu, which they made the button invisible, but you could access, which would open up like the Ark settings?
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
I don't remember that, but I have not been playing at that time.
Yeah.
The videos were very funny, but yes, the hackers that got in and just started spawning stuff all over the world. Very funny.
I think there were Chinese lynch mobs as well, or something. There was some weird, like, racial tension.
Oh, isn't there in everything these days?
But it was something like
the world we live.
Yeah. It's like it was just like a huge Chinese population that was like hunting down non-Chinese players or something. Like, it got really weird. It reminded me a little bit of when that Red Dead, when the lynch mobs were forming, where it's like, do you remember that?
No.
Yeah. So in Red Dead.
Oh, you mean the first one?
No, in online.
Yeah, I thought the first one online.
No, in the sequel online. Yeah, when
I
people
didn't
were
hear
like,
about this at all.
you know, how about we get together posses and go kill like women and kind of colored people, like.
I mean, women at least isn't racial.
but it was like, oh, this is like, it's probably appropriate for the time, but is this really what I want in my fantasy cowboy video game?
Did you hear about the Pinkerton agency?
No.
They're trying to sue Rockstar for defamation, basically.
But weren't they the worst?
Yes. If you ever read a fucking history book, Pinkerton's not good guys.
Yeah.
And it's not like the modern Pinkerton are them anyway.
Yeah.
So it's just a fucking name that's been sold. It's like some security organization these days, whatever. Like, no one liked the Pinkertons. I mean, sure, some people did. But no one.
I read in
also, try suing every other bit of media based in the West for the last 100 years. Very rarely the good guys. Anyway, so yes, that got shut down. It was back up for, I like the cluster of it. But okay, now on to the best news.
Okay. That's the tame stuff. All right,
so,
let's
this is very. So I have some warnings on content here.
Uh-oh.
So Randy Pitchford At Gearbox.
It's the best way to start a story.
Yeah. So we're not going to go too much into details, partly because I didn't write them down and I don't remember them in my head, but there are some highlights. Now, James, you know about this story.
No, I don't.
This is amazing. So, Gearbox suing their old... I can't remember what a head attorney for a company is called. Head counsel or something like that.
Yeah.
Suing their old head counsel. The lawsuit is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, they gave him a loan for a few... I think... One was for education, maybe the other one was for some housing or something. And he didn't pay them back. They're accusing that. The details are where it gets good. Like,
okay.
He misappropriated funds from Gearbox for gun memberships and to get himself a six pack abs. So stuff like that.
Okay.
I never understand why people put this extra bullshit in lawsuits. I mean, I'm sure there's a reason, but it's funny. Now that is the mild stuff.
Okay.
Countersuit time. Randy Pitchford has embezzled $12 million from Gearbox. Oh, fuck. So this is the claim from that ex-head counsel. Okay. Some more details. Okay.
I like how you're trying to think how to phrase this. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. So, Randy Pitchford...
Yes.
Not even allegedly, this part is true. And he said, a few years ago, at a Medieval Times, you know the American restaurant Medieval Times?
I don't, but
you know, like they have like knights fighting in the center and eating, mutton and drinking. Yeah. Anyway, so he left a USB stick there with company secrets and underage pornography on it.
Oh. Now,
the timeline's a little bit messed up here.
Yeah.
So what happened with that stick? It was either an employee or someone else found it. They sort of approached Randy with it and everything, and they said, "Look, give us the stick back, and we'll give you a bunch of Gearbox swag and shit." But everyone at the company then looked at the stick and everything, because I think Randy was away at the time. So everyone knew what was on it. Now, at the time this lawsuit was filed, the day after...
At what point are you putting both these things on the one... Anyway, just like...
He's a Randy man.
Okay, yep.
Either the day before or day after or whatever. We're not sure when exactly it was recorded. A podcast was released, a magic podcast with Randy. And he's explicitly talking about the time that he left the USB stick at Medieval Times. And now this is being sent around as Gearbox to explain it. So they are telling people to go listen to this. And it is amazing. So he's like, "Oh yes, I left it there. Yeah. And yes, it had pornography on it. It was not underage pornography. It's barely legal pornography. The woman's name is only 18. But I did not have it because of it being pornography. I had it because the way she could make herself squirt was like magic." She's a goddamn magician. And I had to learn her techniques. And you know what? I might put her on the front cover of my next magic magazine. It's like, why create this story? I mean, easy enough to go like, it was this model, I recorded her from a campsite, she's legal, or at least she said she was. Yeah. It's like, there's nothing here. But why make up this story about, oh no, I wasn't jerking off. I was looking for magic inspiration.
I'm just trying to think what kind of magic performance you could do with that.
Other than a female orgasm.
Yeah, I'm trying to...
I mean, I guess it could shoot glitter. Be more difficult on the muscles for sure. You can
I don't know. Oh, yeah, okay. All right, but it's magic. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there are actually some more parts of it. There's some accusations that his magic shows and everything.
Yeah.
But it's all unsubstantiated stuff, other than the fact that we know that USB incident actually happened. But man, just that magic. It's like, holy shit, Randy. What the fuck are you? I don't know. But yeah, they're sending that podcast around as like proof of like, yeah, he's not... I mean, he's weird, but he's not illegal. And maybe he embezzled $12 million. It's hard to tell.
We
hear the
can
story last
ignore
year
that
about
part.
his like personal assistant like squirreled away millions of dollars?
No, but
yeah.
So he embezzled his embezzlement?
Perhaps that's why he didn't make a big deal of it.
Yeah,
it's like, nah, you know what, guys, don't look at my finances. That's fine.
Yeah.
How about Borderlands? And then everyone says yes, and he goes, nah, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. How about some disappointment instead? Joke's on them. I find Borderlands quite disappointing.
Oh, poor Borderlands.
It's fine, actually. whatever. It's not for me. You know, I don't like loot.
Yeah. I do like loot.
You do. Mm-hmm. You do. Borderlands for some, miniature American flags for others. Okay, and that's legit. There's more to it, but it gets sort of weird. And I suppose I should ask a lawyer that one day. Why, when filing these civil suits, do people fill it with just insane, unrelated, like if he somehow did have underage pornography, surely that's a police matter.
Yeah.
What does the ex-lawyer have? Like,
what does this have to do with
like,
it?
That's an extra $20 in the lawsuit for me because you had some porn. I don't know the relevance.
Maybe there is some legal strategy there to add these kinds of things in to complicate things.
The guy's literally a lawyer, so it must be a strategy to it. It might be a dumb strategy. I don't know, but it's a strategy because they both did. I mean, why do we know the lawyer wanted six-pack abs? Just seems like you just paint the other person as a bit of a dick as much as you can.
Yeah,
that's my Judge Judy scenario. James owes me $72 from back when we were 18, and I bought him a game and a bag of chips.
Oh, those chips were good.
They're good, yeah. Also, he's quite short. Did you notice? I mean, I don't. I forget you're short. It just doesn't affect me like it affects you every day trying to reach those top shelves.
Oh no, that does become a problem.
Yeah. It's like, could you get me the Cocoa Pops, James? You just look at the shelf.
You know that in our house, in our pantry, there is a tiny stool, a collapsible stool that we can get out. Because I'm a house full of short people. Yeah,
I was going to say, you are vertically challenged and you live with two Asian women.
Yes.
So, not saying that stereotypes are true, but in this case, Paul, they're true.
One time, I had this magical moment. It was like the first time I was in Sunnybank, which is like our China district, basically. And
Chinatown is shit.
Yeah, our Chinatown is not actually China, like our Chinatown. Sunnybank. And I just had this moment where I was in the grocery and I looked and I was at like head height with everybody. It's like...
Must have been the dream.
It was magical. I'm like, I feel the same.
It's like when I look around and everyone's squinting.
Yeah.
Finally, my people.
My peeps.
So mine's just a little bit more racist than yours is.
I think we're both a little bit racist in that one. The right amount of racist.
That's a little bit. Enough for us to get in trouble, but not enough for it to stick.
Yeah. That's just the way I like it.
That's the way. Okay, let's get on to some video games coming out in 2019.
Yes.
Now, I have 2 pages listed.
But let me just give me that.
Oh, okay. James wants to have a look at the list. You're just going to pick a game? Any game? You don't have any that are on your mind already?
Yeah, no, I am. Where is it?
I don't know. Maybe it's not on my list. Maybe it's some shit.
Where's... Oh, there it is. Far Cry New Dawn. That's the one we're going to talk about.
Well, we actually haven't spoken about it yet. But Far Cry New Dawn is a game that's happening.
It is on... Actually, there isn't really that much to say about it.
In fact, it's happening very soon.
Yeah, it is out quite soon. I think it's 22nd of Feb or somewhere around there. Like, it's quite close.
So it is the standalone... semi-sequel.
It's kind of... Well, it's actually a direct sequel. It's the most sequel-y thing they've done.
I mean, only that it's not necessarily a full-blown game. It's more... It's like bigger than Blood Dragon. It's like, I suppose it's more Far Cry Primal size.
Yeah, that's sort of what I'm expecting. More Primal. Like, it's like a quasi...
It's a retooled map of the Far Cry 5 map. That said, there are...
Which Primal kind of was a bit as well.
It technically was a retooled map, but this also has some new areas you go to because you actually leave Hope County. Yeah. And it's all Rage 2-y.
They're trying to Rage 2 before Rage 2.
Post-apocalyptic, lots of pinks.
Yeah, there's neons in there. Yeah. I mean, we all know my opinion on Far Cry 5.
It was your bullshit of the year last year.
It was the strongest.
No. It was James's bullshit, not
the most ballsy ending game of 2018.
You don't understand a ballsy ending. I'll give you balls.
So yeah, I actually just reinstalled Far Cry 5 because I want to go back and play some of the side quests because a lot of the characters are kind of continuing over, and I want a little bit of a reminder of like who the kind of different people were. I am.
You needed a reminder of the characters.
Yeah, there's a few of them in there. So I mean, I didn't do all of the side quests either.
Oh, okay.
So there's stuff for me to go back and do.
All the characters are quite in depth in that game.
Oh, they are. There's layers like onions going on in there. Yeah. I mean, I really am expecting it to be about a Primal. Like it's going to be the shooting that I like. I mean, I just kind of variation on a game that I really liked.
I think that it will likely possibly have a longer lasting effect with me because unlike Far Cry 5, which I did really enjoy until I just stopped caring entirely, is that it is divorced from the complete non-issue politics of the original game.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we're not based in anything real anymore. We're not avoiding talking about anything because now we can talk about everything because it's stupid post-apocalyptic people with like tires for faces and shit. It doesn't matter. We can just do whatever we want and be as extreme and as silly as we want because it's wacky now. While before they had to be like, yeah, we're wacky, but we're also very serious, but we're too afraid to say anything.
One of the things I'm looking forward to is really just seeing how the villain from the first game responds. I know it's going to be something probably really briefly at the beginning.
I mean, version and spoiler, also, how is he there?
We'll find out. Yeah.
Depending on endings, but you got to combine endings to get that, and that doesn't work at all. They can't fuck up the Far Cry 5 lore.
This is needed.
It's very important. Oh, I know what happened. See, the ending of Far Cry 5 wasn't actually the ending. What had happened is that someone had shot you with a dart, and you were having a
it was a dream. Yeah.
In a scripted situation that you couldn't really do anything with, and you were stuck in a linear shooting gallery to get out of it to get back to the game. Yeah.
No, I'm expecting it's just going to be a complete... Because you're a different character.
Do you think that they're going to... And there's two black sisters that
There are. They're twinsies.
They're twinsies, yeah. They're taking down the establishment. The non-establishment.
Those strong black ladies, twins. Yeah. They're doing their thing with beating people with helmets.
Yeah, they seem very violent.
Yes.
Okay. So that's good. So
that one's not far off. That's probably the thing I'm most excited for at the moment, just because it's quite close.
So I guess we just go through every single game down the list.
You go on, just go to the top. Let's do it.
Well, the top one I actually am very excited about.
All right, go
After Party, which is the follow-up to Oxenfree. Which is a much, much sillier idea, because Oxenfree being a somewhat...
That's the one where they're dead, right?
No.
Some Afterlife thing?
Oh, Afterlife. Yes, Afterlife.
Sorry,
Oxenfree. They're not
no, Oxenfree's not. No.
So Oxenfree was the narrative, side-scrolling, walking around an island, group of friends, a bit nostalgia-based. This one is same sort of concept in that it's a narrative-based adventure-ish game where you're walking around, but instead of walking around a mysterious island, you're walking around hell because you're dead. And demons are fucking with you, but you make a deal. If you can outdrink the devil, you can, you can leave hell. So it is a drunken wild fest. And Oxenfree was full of little surprises and little twists on the concept all the time. I mean, drinking games in hell just seems to be... There are no rules.
Yeah,
you can do anything you want.
I'm keen to see how they iterate on all the conversation systems.
Yeah,
because that was
really
so strong in the. And I kind of now remember there was some other stuff going on, little twists and things in Oxenfree, but that was like the smaller part of what to me made that game special.
The twist in that game just landed so well for me. It took me by surprise. I was like, holy fuck!
Yeah.
And then I got very excited. I was like, everyone, you have to play this.
Yeah.
But make sure we all play on Steam.
Yeah.
Why?
Shut up. Just play the game.
Oh man, I love that hint too because it's still not a spoiler.
No. Just play it on Steam.
Yeah. I've played Oxenfree like three times, I think.
Is there much replay value in it?
Well, yes. Without going into too much spoiler again, at least the second replay and then subsequent ones as well. Like it is. I played another game recently, where reiterating the story is important. Oh, actually, I suppose that's a thing to talk about. Just before we go on, Choose Your Own Adventure, Bandersnatch on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
Have you done that?
Yes, I did. I played. I think I got about 80-90% of the endings. I had to look afterwards. I looked at the tree.
What's actually there? Yeah,
I looked at the kind of the decision tree, and I was like, there's one here and one here.
The way that what I think is, and I'll just broadly say genius in its structure, is that unlike most choose your own adventure things and like games where you have multiple paths and everything, it literally blocks off paths.
Yes,
it's like I don't know, you know about this area. Sure, there's some more paths for you to do, but they're not going to give you any extra information. They're just like some different footage telling you the same thing. So we're not going to let you do that anymore. And it's a choose your own adventure that opens up and then closes back down until the point that there is an ending.
Yes.
Which you get at some point, and there's no way to continue it without just restarting the whole thing. Which I thought was like really interesting structurally. I haven't seen something do that before, and I kind of like it in that. I'm always arguing that choice in games is bullshit, and when you try to make it too meaningful, that's like the biggest bullshit of all. And this kind of gets to have its cake and eat its too. It gives you all these things, and it's like, but at the end of the day, this story is trying to tell this thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it kind of had a big advantage because it is Black Mirror. Like,
even then, it is this story.
Yeah,
like you ain't doing any other Black Mirror. If you look at all the other Black Mirror stories that exist, none of them would have benefited from this treatment.
No,
it's because the story is about the treatment.
Yes, yeah,
and that is the point.
Yeah,
and that's why like choose your own narrative fiction is very gimmicky and very hard to apply to anything other than just like childish silliness.
Yeah,
and something that's literally about.
I think that the best that I've seen it done, and this actually hasn't been I haven't played it. It's more actually watching Cheryl play it. Are things like the 999 series. Where like those visual novels where there's branching, but they're designed to replay different branches, and the game is actually branches being affected by other branches, and you kind of moving through the story. So like, even though it's like you got this big branch, but it's more like you are actually moving through it at a linear rate. Or like there is a thing like at the end, like it's a thing to discover how it all kind of clicks together.
Yes. Playing through the branches and
yeah.
And I mean, I really like any game that has, small timelines that are made to replay through them multiple times. And you're getting that sort of stuff, coming out of Wilds and Last Day of June last year. Like stuff like that is using iteration for a purpose. And then when they manage to do the reiteration without also wasting your time.
That's
that's the hard one with a lot of visual novels that do it.
That's the tricky thing. And I think visual novels, at least, they have mechanics built in.
Some of them do.
Well, the good ones have the systems built in to fast forward to the decision.
Yes.
So it's more like, you don't need this. We'll let you know when there's a new branch.
Let's go back to a node here.
Yeah. And so you'll blitz through it and you go, okay, from here I can go. I thought that Bandersnatch did a good job at, while it didn't have that kind of system going on.
I mean, it certainly had paths that you had played, giving you new opportunities.
Yes, yeah. So there was a little bit of that. But I thought what it did well was, if you did go down an end, it'd be like, right, let's rewind. Like there was like the soft endings and the hard endings, but even the hard endings would be like, okay, this is where you are. Let's go back.
Yeah, let's go back to the last meaningful split.
Yeah. And that's where I found, from like looking at what was like there in the full tree, I didn't get the full tree, but it at least prompted me enough to go back and experience all like the beats of like to have the full experience.
Like I remember there was one beat in it which basically turned it a bit more conspiracy into quite a silly way, but a fun way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh wow, this is the actual story. And then I found it almost hard to then recontextualize myself, go back and go like, no, that's only because I made the choice. That conspiracy actually doesn't exist in the other branches, which is kind of fun on its own.
I think it actually made me think a bit of maybe like Until Dawn, where like there's like definite directions that game can go, and your decisions will let you kind of choose. Like it's like, I mean, with Until Dawn, it's basically, do you go the serial killer route or do you go the ghost route? And it's like your decisions are...
I go the ghost face killer.
Yeah. Your decisions are going to kind of send you kind of in different ways, and you choose. I had a little bit of that vibe from it. Like there was different kind of paths, but it's like, okay, this is this kind of story, this is this kind of story.
Yeah. And at least one very, very funny
story. There's one very good one. Which is worth going back. And you know it if you found it.
Yeah.
And it is definitely worth going back to.
I think that might be one that you're actually forced through. It'd be interesting to look at the tree. I haven't looked at the tree.
I accidentally skipped it.
Oh, yeah.
The first time, because like it was almost like I just hit the wrong button. I was like, no, I want to do that other one. And it took a little bit of kind of like watching and backtracking, but eventually it kind of narrowed me down to like, okay, cool. Like I was a bit worried that I lost my chance. I'm like, no, I'm going to have to...
just played through the last hour and a half again.
I mean, I would say the time I spent watching it probably was about an hour and a half worth of content.
An hour and a half to 2 hours, I think
I think it was a movie. Like it was...
Yeah, and it's, and it is... We haven't spoken about what the plot is, and we don't really want to too much, but it's the main character is building a video game in the 80s, and you know what? Pretty good representation of it, frankly.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Like it's like
the days where you're given 4 weeks to make a game.
Yeah.
The only thing is is they have that TV show that reviews games. Well, I don't think that really existed. But maybe. I don't know.
The Zone of the 1980s.
Yeah. I mean, even the Zone.
Do you remember the Zone?
Are you cool?
Do you remember the Zone?
Oh, man. Do you think they're getting their primetime slot soon?
Oh, I hope so.
That for those that do not know, as a young child...
Yeah.
I don't know, how old would we have been around the Zone?
I would have been probably like 8, 9.
So the Zone was Australian TV show about video games, and it started really quite fresh and independent, and then as it kept going, they had to get more and more sponsors, which made it more of like, now it's EA's The Zone.
Yeah.
And then for the final episode, and being a naive, stupid kid, they were saying like, oh yeah, so we're going to prime time. Yeah, it's going to be great. They're just going to get us out of here so they can put in the new set and everything. So we're just going outside and then they lock the doors behind them and it ends with them going, hello, this is Palmer House. And of course, that was them cancelling the show. But me being a young child did not realise I was eagerly awaiting their prime time
looking forward to this prime time slot of The Zone.
The first
this
ever PAX
after
Australia,
reboot.
Yeah, the first ever PAX Australia, they had a
panel. Yeah.
I should have asked them. It's like, do you realise how many youngsters you fooled and made feel destroyed our dreams that The Zone would return with more Booger Man? I think that was the first place I saw Booger Man on that show. I was very excited.
Did you ever watch the reboot?
No, I didn't. I hear it's a bit... So I didn't even realise it had come out.
Yeah. No, it's been on Netflix. It came out like that maybe close to a year ago now.
Well, it's the one that's like Power Rangers.
It's much more like Power Rangers, yeah.
They should have watched Reboot before they made it.
The best thing to do with that show is just watch the last 2 episodes, because that's when it actually just goes back to being involved in the universe and like all the characters come back. You can ignore everything before it.
So the Reboot actually eventually becomes Reboot.
Yeah, like all the characters are there. What's it like? What's the name?
Megabyte,
Bob's there, Megabyte. Yeah, like it all comes together, and they're all like in the one world.
Enzo?
Yeah, Enzo's there.
Yeah.
It's not.
What's the girl's
Because
name?
it's not. I can't remember, but it's not like. They seem to have forgotten like the season, like the second version of that show, because like there was Reboot, and then there was like, oh, now he's Enzio as an adult, and
beat up Bob, and now Enzo's there.
Yeah. That bit was ignored, but yeah, the whole the show like looked about on par as like the 90s show visually, which is quite pathetic. Yeah, like they did not. Man,
I've been rewatching Buffy. Giant CGI snake in the last episode.
How's Buffy hold up? I was just thinking about that one today. Actually,
fun still.
I was thinking about the movie actually, because today I was watching What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
Which I'd never seen before, and
really?
I'd never watched it.
I assume you had a good time because
it's it's a great movie, and actually it's got me thinking about the original Buffy, and like I was wondering how that holds up.
I've been enjoying it. I think I'll have to.
I mean, like the movie, like the Buffy movie.
The movie well.
Yeah.
I mean, the Buffy movie is always a bit weird. I mean, that death scene is. Pretty good. Yeah. Pretty good death scene. Anyway, shall we keep talking about video games?
Yeah, let's keep talking.
So After Party.
That's the first game.
That's the first one of. I think this list has 80-something games on it.
All right.
But we won't go through. Animal Crossing should be happening at some point. Anthem is coming out.
Oh, that's another real close.
We haven't spoken about it. We played the last demo. And there's some going to be like a pre-release demo if you're on Access and shit coming out. It's all like 6 tiers. Yeah, who knows what's happening when. Somebody, not me. Anthem I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, I'm especially looking forward to the fact I can just get like a month of Access Premium for $20.
I was at the office the other day saying like I never played Battlefront 2. But I would like to play through the single player.
There you go.
So when I was like, I subscribed for a month for Anthem because I'm not going to get hooked and want to keep playing. I'm going to play some Battlefront 2 as well. What else have I missed in EA?
No, I guess you've got Battlefield 5 is there I want to check out because I like Battlefield 1 a lot. They've got Darksiders 3 is on there.
Is part of the... Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, so like I think he's...
Why? Isn't it amazing that my big ooh wow is
Darksiders 3? Yeah.
Which is just been like they put out a pretty explicit hint that it's coming to the Switch.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. But you know what would be better? Darksiders 1 and 2. Or Darksiders 3 that's as good as Darksiders 1.
Yes, that'd be nice.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Let's just go back.
At least as good as Darksiders 2 with its loot.
No, we want the better game.
Anthem. I mean, we played the demo. I actually really enjoyed the demo.
Iron Man simulator.
Yeah, I liked the movement.
What I like most about it, so we did mention on a previous episode that flight controls are a bit patchy with mouse and keyboard. And hopefully they sort of improve a bit. They did get okay by
I was okay. Like I kind of got used to it. And thought
it's just weird. It's just like it's like a virtual joystick on the mouse, which means if you push up, it will sort of keep going up. Even after you stop pushing up, and
it's a bit funny.
it needs a better visual indicator for that, because I sort of expect because there is an indicator that moves, I expect it to go there and straighten up a bit like the Warthog.
Yeah. Well, this is more like your traditional space flight sim model, where it's like a little circle, and like the further it is from the center, and
it keeps moving towards
it's like it's going to constantly which is like the default mouse and keyboard behavior in No Man's Sky, which is why I never fly without a controller.
That sounds terrible.
I actually I have the controller sitting next to me with No Man's Sky, so if I'm in space,
you just pick it up,
and I just put that down and go mouse and keyboard for anything else.
You need to. What I found actually really satisfying is just the feel of the weapons that you had. Basically, like a little cannon that would fire off. There's like cooldown things that everything had a really nice punch to it, and all the enemy designs were like there were these wyverns that were flying around, but they were like fire breathers. So when you shot them, when they killed them, they exploded. And stuff like everything was very reactive, and then those reactions could interact with other things around there. So it just felt like, when you really lay into a group or something, it felt like you were doing some real damage, and it felt very satisfying. So I really enjoyed the combat of that.
I'm real curious to see what the kind of meta loot system ends up being. I'm kind of hoping that because it's on Access Premium, there won't be an incentive to kind of so much like Destiny, where it's like we want to find all these other ways to monetize it. Like, will the fact that it's just going to be, I don't know what percentage of the audience is going to be on Access Premium. I actually reckon it's going to be quite high.
No, I'm not sure.
It's really, Like, what I'm kind of hoping is it's like it more becomes like this subscription thing, where it's like, well, if you just subscribe to it, you can play EA games, and there won't be like some aggressive monetization because they're already getting money from you.
I think it's a bit off that happening because I assume most of the sales will still probably be like console physical.
Yeah.
And if they actually want that to do, they need to launch the whole thing as a subscription model, not just some people pay that somewhere.
Which I guess like Sea of Thieves kind of did have the whole thing. Like you got Game Pass, and I'm just wondering if it's going to be a little bit like Game Pass, but maybe not. I think you're right.
It would be interesting taking basically MMO subscription style thing and then applying that to a service. Instead. I mean, we've been talking about games as service for years. It's
basically Netflix. Like that's how we get Bandersnatch. Like the fact that we subscribe.
I didn't realize
they can do stuff like that.
I didn't even know that Roma was a Netflix movie.
It's Roma?
That's the Alfonso Cuarón's latest film. It's just got like 10 Academy Award nominations.
Oh, okay.
So Netflix doing good.
Yeah. Gotta watch that Bird Box.
Yeah, man, I was surprised by the hate towards Bird Box.
I thought it was entirely acceptable sci-fi.
I thought it was quite fine. Yeah. I really quite enjoyed the scenes where the world was going to shit.
Yeah,
I thought that had some fun, horrible things happening. And sure, there's some flaws with the basic concept, but most of these sort of hypotheticals ones were, we all love the Quiet Place, and parts of that are just confused.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
Quiet Place is really good.
Yeah, I wanted to watch it, but it was also, I wasn't sure about seeing it in the movies, just because like I was wondering if I saw it with other randoms, how likely they'd be to ruin the experience for me by eating chips or something.
I don't know.
Like it's like a show which I felt like I'm gonna wait for this to come to Netflix and watch it by myself.
I had some gold class tickets, and my wife and I went to see Glass. And the problem with gold class is that people get full on fucking meals on there, and they're clinking their cutlery. You're like, you know what? I'm glad I didn't pay for these tickets because not that it was bad time. We still had a good time. But like, the high end thing is literally one where waiters walk in front of you and put down someone's steaming hot meal with a knife and fork. Yeah, like okay. Glass is entirely what I expected it to be.
That's all I want out of Glass.
Yeah,
I want it to be entirely what I expect it to be.
Anyone that expected something that was subtle, like high budget, like it was like, have you seen the last 4 Shaman films? And most of his career before, like subtle is certainly nothing he's ever done. He's very, very, very heavy-handed. He has fun ideas. If you know anything of looking at this, you know the budget was $12. And 9 of those dollars was spent on Samuel L. Jackson and Bruce Willis. So, I was like, I enjoyed it for what it was. I actually didn't have any, other than just like, man, there is some real charm and dialogue in there.
Awesome.
And it almost touches like some of the themes that made me hate Lady in the Water so much, but I think it just skirts them. It just has that little. It just takes that little bit of self-righteousness out of the very similar argument. I'm like, okay, you didn't make yourself the guy that writes the thing that inspires the peace on Earth. So I guess
he did
anything better than that.
He did go through a weird phase, didn't he? It's like he was like this kind of competent director who was making fun stuff. Then there was a
I
dark
would argue
period.
he's almost always been this level. It's just that we were less accustomed to it.
I don't know, like The Happening was a slog.
I mean, Happening is like,
Come on.
it's amazing.
Yeah. Well, The Devil.
He didn't direct Devil.
Oh, I thought he did.
No,
did he
just
write it?
wrote it.
He just wrote it.
Might have produced it. Yeah. I mean, they're all. I mean, other than Letting in the Water, that's one of my most hated films of all time, and Avatar, which I have not seen. All of his films I've enjoyed in a Charlemagne-ish way. Like, the dialogue was real dumb. I'm like, yep. People do not talk like that.
Nope.
And it was not stylized in a way that was stylized. It was just bad. But this didn't make sense. It's like, yep. But sometimes some of the things that people think don't make sense do make sense in the film's own internal logic. But yeah, I mean, I thought Glass was fine.
Yeah, I'll check it out eventually.
I thought it was an interesting end to the series. Anyway, we're not about the movies. We've got 2 games into the series.
All right, let's keep going.
Let's keep going. Let's go. Do you want to pick one or should I just go another
All right,
one?
let me float.
You can have the other. You have which page do you want? Second page or first page?
I'll grab second page.
Okay.
You already got a handle on first page.
Okay, let's go down. I am very interested in seeing what Atomic Heart ends up being.
Yes. Yep.
That is the Russian first-person shooter that's wacky, and I do love when
it gets
Russians
real wacky,
get silly.
Yeah,
because Russians like to be serious. So when they start getting surreal and wacky and funny, you get things like Night Watch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man,
subtitles in that movie were amazing. We're back to movies again. But yeah, Russian silly is really good, and I love they had all these demos for the ray tracing tech, and they're showing all this stuff as like, this is what this effect looks like with the current tech, and you look at it and go like, well, you wouldn't do that. That looks terrible.
Yeah.
Like, you'd never use that technique there. But now it looks like with ray trace, like, well, yes, you can now do something you couldn't do before, but I don't believe that will be in the game because most people won't have it, and you will not do that in the game because that looks crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, like giant, like lots of weird robots and mutants, and it's sort of like fun Stalker.
Yeah, I get a bit of a Stalker feel from it.
Yeah, maybe a little bit Bioshocky to it as well. But yeah, it seems to have like a more satirical and silly edge to it. Hey, you can pick one.
We're getting OOblets coming out this year.
Just wait. You picked out fucking OOblets.
Well, no, I was starting at the top.
OOblets.
But I was going to give it to you. It was my present to you.
Oh, I mean, like, OOblets I'm looking forward to.
No,
it's a high ranking for me.
Look, okay,
No, we have to talk about OOblets.
All right, because there's actually...
OOblets is the game that infuriates James so much because it's twee out the extreme, and he hates it. He finds it so disingenuous.
Was that the word I used?
I think so.
Oh, man, that was harsh.
You were like, it's just trying to latch on to this twee cutesy bullshit, and
I don't remember. So was I really that brutal?
You hated it so much when you played it.
I remember
it's Harvest Moon crossed with Pokemon.
I remember playing it, and it is not for me. Like, it's a style I do not like.
But the character runs like you run.
Maybe it's just too hurtful to watch. Oh, the most hurtful thing you ever said to me.
It's true. I still feel guilty about saying you run like a penguin.
I love it because I don't care, but I'm just going to keep using it.
Yeah, it's true. I'm going to apologize at your wedding.
That's all this speech is going to be. It's 20 minutes of you apologizing.
No, it's just going to be like, so
it's going to be
I watched James run, and he ran like this.
laugh.
I do that for 15 minutes straight. Everyone's just like, and by the end, they're worrying for my health. And then I said he ran like a penguin, and he looked a bit sad, and then he stopped running, and I felt bad about it for years. Sorry, James. And then everybody applauds. But that's because they're serving the shrimp.
Can I pick another one then?
You don't want to talk about OOblets more?
No, because look, there's another one for you on here as well, which is the new Ori game.
Alright, yeah. Well, I guess I didn't. Yeah, because we didn't PAX.
Yeah,
played it at PAX. Very good. It pointed out a problem with PAX demos, so I got there very early.
Yeah,
and all the stations were full, but I was next in line. Maybe I was second in line behind. So I'm like, whatever. I'll just wait. Doesn't matter. And it was 10, 15 minutes before a station cleared up, and I went on there and I played straight through the demo. It was really satisfying, really good. A couple of frame hiccups here and there, but it's still a year from release sort of thing at that point. And as I leave, I noticed that half the people that were playing when I arrived were still completing the demo.
Yeah,
because they were drunk. Because it is a
Yeah.
Not super difficult, but it is a skill-based platformer, and they just couldn't fucking do
Yeah.
it.
I remember the Hitman one, the Hitman booth.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, we went in and, like, you could play that thing for, like, 15, 20 minutes or something, real long.
We got in there and we did, like, some silly runs each, and as soon as we, like, finished our run in one way, we went, well, I guess we'll get out here so someone else can play.
Yeah, but no.
I can't stand at PAX and just play something for hours. It feels like that's not
I did do that for Ashen last year, though.
Well, you just went back a few times.
Yeah.
No, but you did restart the demo a few times.
No, there was one where I was like, no, I was having so much fun with it. I was like, I was that guy.
I had that problem with Gorogoa in that I sat down in a beanbag and they gave it to me. I'm like, oh, is this the old demo? And they go, oh, no, it's longer. And they didn't tell me it was the entire game. And I finished, after it came out, I had played 90% of the game, which meant I sat there for like an hour and a half. I just didn't realize. They eventually said, sir, you have to move on. I'm like, what? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to. I was just trying to get to the end of the demo. It's like, there is no end of the demo.
Yeah, like, you're just playing the game, sir.
You've ruined it for everyone. Now they know that you fill everything in the bowl.
Spoilers.
War is hell.
Oh, okay. No, the one that number 3 on here, which is Phoenix Point this year.
Oh, yes.
Which is the actual
XCOM.
for realsy XCOM. Well, the XCOM from the XCOM developer, original
From
XCOM.
the XCOM.
Yeah, the XCOM original XCOM developer or creator, which has this kind of nice little twist on it where you're fighting this kind of like it's a bit closer to Terror from the Deep to start off with because you're fighting stuff that's like coming out of the ocean, but it's almost like this arms race of like the aliens are evolving as you're evolving, and so like if you beat them in some way with like some particular weapon, then they're going to get stronger against that when they come back and fight you later. I mean, it looks like it's going to be very much because I think XCOM 1 and 2 the remakes are great.
Yeah,
like they did a fantastic job. This is just kind of nice because I think the original XCOM reboots did a fantastic job at taking XCOM and then reinventing it for like a modern. Where this just feels like something new. Like it's like okay,
it feels quite because from what I remember, I haven't looked a lot into it. That as you're saying, the changing, evolving, that all the enemies are quite modular, and that sort of
it's like it's adaptive to your strategies. Yeah,
so it means that there's quite a lot of variation that's possible in the actual enemy encounters. It was just a different take on it.
Yeah. So like not to diminish XCOM 1 and 2 because I think they're fantastic games.
Dude, fuck them.
Yeah, but this is looking like something new. Like it's a new thing to play. I'm looking forward to.
Yes, I think looking forward to Babylon's Fall.
What's that one?
That's a new Platinum game. We just said the name.
Oh, it's a new Platinum game.
I'm pretty sure that was the Platinum one where it's just like, here's the name. This is like a suit of armor or something. Moving on. Okay, great. It still gets it on the list. Biomutant should be out this year. That's that open world where you play like you don't play a little raccoon. You play a little mutant thing that can evolve quite seriously in different ways. Again, like a wacky world. Like there's one of the vehicles is a giant hand that you can just sit on and run around in. I think Ubi is releasing it now. I can't remember who was making it though. Just sort of a wacky, violent third-person, like crazy animal world, which sort of keeps looking better and better as we go along. We also apparently going to get Crackdown 3.
Finally. We're going to get old cloud-based destruction tech.
Well, the thing is also it's not that far off. Apparently it's supposed to be like March or something.
Oh, really?
It's like, I'm not expecting much.
Is it going to be on PC too?
Should be.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's Microsoft first party.
I'll play it on PC.
You can use Game Pass to play it.
I can. I'll get Game Pass for a month.
It'll only cost you $10.
This is what I'm going to do for all these big publishers now. Everything's going to come to whatever their subscription service is.
Yeah.
I'll subscribe to it for a month and then not. And I'll move to the other one.
Yeah.
It's great.
Well, at the moment, I'm subscribed to Amazon Prime again.
Oh, yeah?
And I think it expires in a couple of days because I wanted to buy something just after Christmas. And the shipping was more expensive than
getting Prime. Yeah.
It was free shipping with Prime. So like, okay.
Yeah. You get some games out of Prime too.
Yeah. In fact, the upcoming Devolver game that we played at PAX, the Pinayaku, I can't remember how it's...
Oh,
it's probably on this list.
The puzzle platform.
Where's P?
You got it. Oh, no, I've got it. There's no Pinayaku one here.
Fuck.
You might have left it off.
Yeah, I can't remember how it's spelled. But anyway, that's free. Like, it's not even out for a couple of weeks. It's like, you can get it now if you're on that because it's a Twitch Prime, and that's the same as Amazon Prime. And
I like how they just roll all those services into the one thing.
There's a bunch of other games that on there at the moment. Yeah, and they're free to keep even after it expires.
Yeah, it's worth keeping an eye on the Twitch loot as well. Like if you play anything like I don't know, like Warframe and things like that.
Well, this is the Twitch loot.
Yeah, because you can actually get some just like loot crates and unlocks.
I just hit claim on like the
it's actually like cause I think it's only like $10 a month or something like that.
Something like
it's
that.
Like it's not
$8 or $10.
Yeah, it's not ludicrously expensive, and you get like the Prime TV, whatever it is, and
that was the thing. I literally got it for shipping, and because it was the holidays, my wife was watching Amazon Prime Television on our TV, and I was able to get a few free games. It was certainly worth the cheaper shipping. I literally spent less money and got all these benefits to it. Of course, they're just expecting me to then leave Prime on, but I won't.
But yours, But you are the 10% of people that actually cancel.
But that said, like even like when I've done EA access before, like I accidentally left that run a few months over and stuff like that, and that's what they kind of want and expect at a certain level. Eventually, and if I was slightly more wealthy, probably not much more. Yeah, I could probably just leave most of these. You just
wouldn't really think about it too much.
Care. It's like, what's $5, $10 here or there? At the moment, that does add up eventually. But it's like if you are a cheap gamer these days, if you subscribe to Humble Monthly,
that's the one I keep subscribed to.
I ended up, because every once in a while I'd say, oh no, I don't like those exclusives or whatever, and I would unsub, and then I go, why did I even bother? Like the other stuff was good, I would have. Yeah. So I just did a year sub.
Oh, that's probably the better way to do it.
It saved money. It was
No, I really like Humble Bundle. I actually find it stops me from spending money elsewhere, because it's like if I feel like a new game, I'll be like, but the bundle I'm getting in like a couple of days. So I'll just wait for that.
Could be something.
So like I actually find it curbs my spending a little bit.
Yeah. I'm still a whore.
I think with EA, like with Origin Premium Access, I think because they've got like a yearly subscription, I think for like $160 or something like that. It's not as cheap as the other ones. Yeah. But when I think about that, it's like, well, if that say gets you like Battlefield 5. Gets me Anthem, like even those two alone. If I'm kind of interested,
if you were going to buy them day one,
you're like, well, you might as well just get the yearly subscription. Like they're becoming quite. Yeah, if you're a gamer on a budget, there's starting to be a lot of options out there. Where if you want to drop $100 on a service, there's like I think like Access Premium or Origin Access Premium, it's it's got like another 50, 60, 70 games that are they're attached to like in their vault thing. Yeah. And so it's sort of like if you're like a bit strapped for cash,
Game Pass.
Yeah, like you can just like drop like just $150, $100, and it's kind of good for a year. Like there's lots of
honestly, you just go on all the mailing lists and just put an alert on for free. Yeah, and you'll get 2-3 free games a week, and some of them will be good. It's like there was Lego Lord of the Rings and Lego The Hobbit that were just being given away a few weeks ago, and as soon as the giveaways ended, they said, by the way, it's now delisted from Steam.
Okay,
and that's why they're giving it away because it was about to be delisted. But those are full games. And they just gave them away in the thousands. Here you go. Want it? Go. And that's if I was a kid now, I would have far too many games.
Yeah, I actually had a moment of sadness. I say when I was watching some Angry Video Game Nerd this morning. He's a bit of a guilty pleasure for me, the Angry Video Game Nerd.
I really haven't watched for a while, but it was always just a pleasure for me.
Yeah. Well, it's like it's quite juvenile, but that's kind of the charm.
I enjoy it.
Yeah, like I
never watched his movie.
Movie's all right. It's good because it's like it's not it's not like an hour and a half episode of his show. Like he's kind of he's a bit more toned back, so it's more watchable.
He did an episode with Macaulay Culkin recently.
He did, yeah. There was a Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay is all over the podcast at the moment. He is the best.
Yeah, no, that was good. No, but he was just looking at like in some Atari cart or something like that, and it still had the price tag on it.
Yeah.
And it was like 85 cents, and I looked at it and went, "Oh fuck, this is what games are now." Like this is where we're at. The value of a game is if you want to adjust for those dollars, it's actually about on par with what a game is worth now. I mean, I guess like the difference is that maybe the scale of the market is more.
The scale of the market.
But it's still like it was this little bit of like, this went poorly last time.
Well, especially in the scene you work in, which is well, I mean they all are to different degrees, but yours mobile started cheap.
Yes.
And has never really been able to fight its way up.
It had to go free because
it had to find that other market.
Yeah,
and that's
I know. I blame Apple for their 99-cent bullshit. The 99-cent app is just devalued software so much.
And I've got a lot of stuff through bundles and everything, but it was one of those things I was talking about a while ago that just even when you're comparing quality of things in Game of the Year and everything, you're comparing things in completely different markets, even though they're in the same marketplace. It's like, it's a very, very strange market. Yes, you might. It's very hard to judge things and necessarily make big ethical calls on things because business is weird, yo. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, you spent $100 million on this game. Yeah. How much do you charge? It's 4 hours long. Someone made a game in RPG Maker. They're selling it for $2, but it cost them literally nothing to make.
Yeah. I'm really hoping this subscription service does a lot to save AAA.
I can see it sort of doing that.
Yeah, and that's I think what I'm hoping with Anthem.
The only thing that I'm worried about at the moment is fragmentation of the market. In that, especially on PC, we got Steam, and Steam solved it for most people. Piracy dropped. People will get more engaged with games. Steam adds more and more of its bullshit. More other competitors come up and start pulling products off Steam. You suddenly got
now it's getting
a dozen marketplaces with different things, different deals.
With Epic at the moment, that it's getting harder.
It's like I could also just go to Pirate Bay and hit download.
Yeah, it might. And
that doesn't work
again.
for AAA because normally AAA is service based these days, so you can't really pirate a lot of those games. But everything underneath it, that's easier than ever, really, if you want to get into it.
I think now installed, I've got Steam, Epic, Bethesda, GOG, Origin. What am I missing?
Discord. Technically, it's a store.
Discord.
Twitch.
I think Twitch is installed. BattleNet. I think 8.
We're up to 8 platforms there, and even on console, you still can subscribe to your EA Access stuff and everything. So even those, even in a lot walled garden, you can have multiple competing services on there. I think it's going to be a shaky couple of years with that, actually. And hopefully we find some...
it definitely feels like there's particularly in AAA, I feel like there's now this transition of what it is. Like, I think that like the Red Deads and the God of Wars are sort of, and the Spider-Mans are becoming like the oddity of what AAA is.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Probably what I expect with AAA, I think the goal will be not to get less money from people like you and I who are like us, that are like, you know what I bought this week? I don't know, like 5 different games. Instead to take the people that buy COD for that's it, to then buy a subscription that's twice the price of COD, but supports the other games. It takes then maybe that extends the market and they're playing more.
Yeah, that's what I'd like. That's what I'd like to see. Like if you've got, I mean, I don't know what the average attachment rate is for PC gaming, or even if you just look at like PS4.
I think they just buy RimWorld and then stop.
Yeah. Well, I think like maybe like console's probably an easy one where like I'm sure the attachment rate for PS4 or something is like, I don't know, 2 or 3 or something. Like I don't imagine it's stupid high.
Yeah.
And so if they can go, well, you subscribe to the service for the cost of 2 games a year, they're already kind of coming up, you know. And hopefully then it's like these people are then given opportunities to go, oh, I wouldn't have played, I don't know, whatever, some little indie thing that makes its way into the platform, and like, oh, I'll check this out. Like, it could actually end up being very healthy for the like the gaming community as a whole.
I mean, then you start doing things like what we often a few times we've started a game club and things like that. Part of the problem is people have to get the game. Well, if you run a game club on Xbox Game Pass, everybody
it's real easy.
It's like, oh, everyone's gonna play this week, and we're gonna. It's like, you know, it's services laid to do stuff like that. You know, you have more potential of things like Rocket League's happening. Yeah, where people forget Rocket League got big primarily because it launched as a free game on PlayStation Plus. Developed a huge user base, and then it just popularity grew from that. And it's still growing. Yeah, that game's fucking nuts. Other games try it and fail miserably, like Disc Jam. But that's because it's a bad game. But yeah, if you can just have that stuff available for people to try, if you can get a little bit of traction, that can blow up, and then that can pull into the market, stuff like that. Anyway, we're not here to talk about the industry. We're talking about games.
We're talking about the future.
Future of games.
Getting PlanetSide Arena. I actually don't know what PlanetSide Arena is. You put it on the list. It feels like a thing that I should know.
That's your game of the next year.
No, that's Far Cry New Dawn.
No, so PlanetSide, the new PlanetSide game is PlanetSide.
Yeah.
And it is an arena.
All right.
Okay, so
You're not selling me on it so far.
I think it's free to play.
Yep.
And it's Battle Royale. Sometimes it's capture the flag. Sometimes it's a domination style thing.
Okay.
So basically, it's going to have changing playlists,
like a rolling objective
I
thing.
think it might be week-based thing. I'm not an expert. Don't take me on the timeline of things. But it is basically going to have this rolling playlist of different play styles. And I mean, that is probably a way for them to experiment as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is. So at first it was just like, this is PlanetSide Battle Royale. It's like, no, it's just sometimes Battle Royale.
Why haven't I seen with a Battle Royale game, like, one of the things that like I think makes it like the Battle Royale stuff interesting is like the I mean, like the concept, like from like the movie and that kind of stuff. Like as a concept, it's like, you know, these people which have to form groups, but then at some point they're going to have to turn on each other, and so that's like, you know, there's an interesting social dynamic. I haven't, and maybe I just haven't seen one, but pretty much most of what I've seen in in Battle Royale games is you jump in, you find stuff, you shoot people, the area gets smaller.
Yes.
Like, why hasn't there been one when there are sub-objectives which require you to work with people? Where it is like, a whole group, you need to work together to do this.
Blackout has some sub-objectives.
Okay, so maybe they're just doing some stuff in there.
Nothing too crazy, but it has like facilities that you infiltrate and get, mainly to get other gear and stuff, but
I guess what I'd like is as someone who is like generally a solo player, I don't really like it when I'm thrust into a team with someone. Like, I don't want to just go jump into quads or whatever and get randomly teamed up with someone. I'd much prefer there to be a natural like growth of a relationship where like, oh, you know, we can shoot each other, but right now we don't want to do that. Well,
I mean, one of the things...
And let's go do this thing, and I talk to this person, and we form a relationship, but we know at some point, you know...
Well, like, we call it the Battle Royale genre, primarily relating to the film.
Yeah.
Whilst it's still a term, it exists outside the film, that is what we're gaming on.
Yeah.
And the thing is, that film isn't about winning the Battle Royale. It's about breaking out of the Battle Royale.
You're right. Like, and I guess...
And whilst most games should... run through that's why I like whenever they're sort of starting to do sort of ARG stuff in there, because I think the ultimate goal should be for people to work together to solve a bigger mystery, to get out, to be able to shut down and then like take down the real bad or whatever, like, you know, do a huge ARG that eventually leads to all these steps and everyone works together and brings down a boss and everyone wipes out the boss and there's some big game celebration style thing. And I think Fortnite touches on some stuff like that, but yeah, I was all like Hunger Games, Battle Royale, all these things. Like, it's the story, the focuses that we know. The focus of the stories that we know is not about winning those games. And
I think it's one of the reasons I get kind of shitty at Battle Royale games, because I see so much potential in the concept socially of how you can get people to interact together in interesting ways. And so often I just see it as shoot the other person.
I would very much enjoy a single player narrative Battle Royale game.
Yes. No, but there could be some interesting stuff. Or like, I don't know, maybe like 4-player co-op or something. I don't know. Like, but yeah.
You know, like a 4-player co-op.
I was thinking in some ways we're asking for a way out. No, no one is asking for a way out. No. Let's have another look at our list of bullshit. I'm just going to quick fire a few through because there's nothing that's really grabbing my... Let's say Control, I'm really looking forward to. Quantic Dreams. Not Quantic Dream. Fucking... You know, Max Payne. Remedy.
Remedy's new game. Just all based in the one building, but it can transport. And it's the most haunted house in the world. Hopefully a bit more interesting thing. Crash Team Racing is happening. The Daemon X Machina, that's that mech game for Switch. I thought looked kind of funky. Days Gone is allegedly coming out. Who cares? Somebody. The developers of Days Gone.
I'm sure they care a lot.
At least half of them care about it coming out.
Well, yeah, that thing's getting way past its use-by date, isn't it, before it's come out?
Yeah. What was that? Doom Eternal.
I'm keen on that. That's got some cool ideas.
One of the big ones, and a game that we have been playing in the beta of, but we're not supposed to specifically talk about, which is annoying because it's still pretty public. Dreams. But we can't talk about Dreams last year that we played.
Yes, we can.
So Dreams Media Molecule's next game. And I guess... have you played much of the beta so far?
Yet. So I downloaded it last night and I haven't had a look at it yet.
I've tooled into it. Boy, so many tutorials.
Yeah.
So many.
Were you playing in VR?
No, there's no VR support in the beta.
Oh, okay.
It's just on screen, and I don't think you can use the Move controls either.
Okay.
So yeah, Dreams is about playing and building and creating and working together. So what's really impressed me with the beta so far is the social tools are actually incredible.
Okay.
And one of the things it does is it wants to categorize you as what kind of creator you are. And quite frankly, you can just be ranked as a curator. So you can just spend your time doing stuff. And so it's giving people different roles and that. So that all stuff will all come out as I go. But what we played last year down at PAX, which was, it really sort of blew me away. They had 3 stations set up playing it.
Oh, yeah. And they
three different demos.
It's amazing.
They just had a selection of like 6 or 7 demos you could play.
Yeah.
But people would be normally on different demos. And people would walk up and ask, what's this game?
Yep.
And then what's that game? And what's that game? And you could apply, that's Dreams.
That's Dreams and that's Dreams. Yeah.
One of the games I pulled James over to play was a text adventure.
Yeah, that's the one that really blew me away. That was made in Dreams.
Because not only is it a text adventure presentation with not a text parser, but a multiple choice one, but they were also able to do things like glitch the graphics out and stuff on certain quite advanced scripting tools and everything in there in a 2D environment. And that there was a game you played which a platformer that started as a 2D platformer and eventually became 3D graphics and then became 3D gameplay. All seamlessly. Yeah. We played a multiplayer game about hammers hitting nails.
Hitting nails,
like
yeah.
And it all controlled really well. It looked unique and everything. And now it really seems... I did spend a bit of time just going through random creations last night. People had it out for a week, and I was playing like some weird walking simulator driving game and a first-person shooter, and like these tools are... People are only just learning to touch them.
It's going to be crazy.
So one specific piece, which because someone broke NDA and put it up, someone remade PT in it. Now it's not the full PT. They just recreated the environment and put some of the sound effects in and stuff. But it looks pretty much like PT.
I'm very interested to see the limitations of like what are the constraints for like what you can do.
And I mean, with some of the rumors of it being made forward thinking for PS5, but also potentially having a PC release. I mean, that could just... The idea of this actually being a platform, I think is very exciting. Because they even have talked about the idea of projects so large that they could be spun off their own executables and distributed.
Like if it does come to PC, that'd be interesting to see if they just open up scripting as an option. Like if it's something where
I think
it's
the scripting's pretty advanced even as it is.
Actually, I'm gonna check it out when I get home, because I'm always very interested with these kinds of creation tools to find like how far can they push it. Like I remember playing the WarioWare Do It Yourself, and the constraints in there were pretty crazy. Like for me to just get like a basic like counting tapping thing was like this massive machine I had to build to kind of like get it all. And that was just like a very simple mechanic. I found ways to do it, but it was tricky. Or like with Mario Maker, where it's like, well, how far can I push like the limitations of
how much
this,
can you
of this
not
tool
just make
set?
this a Mario level? How far can you get beyond that?
And
not very, but some people found some really clever shit in there.
But like I was finding things like, I wanted to be about the journey of flying something, and you get out of it and you walk over here, but I was coming across things where it'd be despawned if you walk too far from it. Like you start to find those walls. But when I see that like these games that come out in Dreams, and like the constraints must be pretty light. Like like if they've managed to do this in like some visual scripting way. I'm real curious. I'm real curious to see how that stuff fits together.
So I get the first 3 user-made things I did was a 3D flight sim, that vehicle game, and a first-person shooter.
So the other thing I'm wondering is, will there be like if there's a bunch, I assume there's a bunch of controllers where you say I want to be a first-person shooter, I want to drive a thing, or I want to move a third person.
Alter those parameters.
And how much you can alter it, and if you can't alter it that much, does it end up feeling very much like I know what it feels to walk around the character. Like it feels very samey, I don't know. But hopefully there's enough parameters in there where I can adjust the weight, like the gravity, and like...
Because I mean, even though I said all those things, none of those were like great game level. They were like, wow, this is a cool thing that someone's made quickly. So if they can take it from that level to something more polished. And we saw pretty polished stuff that Media Molecule made. They use all the same tools. So I'm very excited for it, its possibilities. And I actually really just want to do what you were saying before with VR. It has full VR support. And it has multiplayer collaboration. So for us to just go in with a few people and just start building these sculptures together.
We could do a game jam,
You could,
It reminds Okay, it reminds me of...
I'm breaking NDA so much of things because I don't know how much... Literally, there are game jams built into it.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
They said like 6 days for the next game jam. It's like it's just on the menu.
That's awesome. Yep.
They've really thought about the social side.
Because when we were playing that block building shooter, Gunscape.
Yeah, Gunscape.
Yeah. Like that collaboration. Yes, we built the
we built a giant dick tower. Yes.
But I actually thought the level ended up being pretty good. Yeah. And yeah, like that kind of collaborative, creative environment was actually really cool.
And it's one of those things where you can sort of quickly draw the broad strokes of a game and get the idea down and experiment with it. And then you can just spend, I assume, as much goddamn time as you want detailing it.
Yeah.
It's like, we want to grey box an idea in half an hour. Yes, fine. We want to spend the next 2 months making that grey box look beautiful as well. Yeah, go for it. Doesn't matter. You want to like do the grey box and you're not an artist, but your friend's a good artist and send it off to them.
Yeah,
that's
what I'm kind of hoping for is if we can have like, say we got like some little idea of a little mini game we want to make, and can be like, all right, James is probably pretty good at the whole kind of logic, clicking everything together part of it. It's my job. I'm not any good at making anything that looks good. Paul could make some things that look good, and if we could have like this thing where it's like we're just both working on it, and I'll fiddle on this kind of bit here, and you can log in, and I'm going to make this bit here,
and fuck it, not enough people listen to that. So you know how I was saying that it gives you those roles.
Yeah.
It then has social networking to match you up with people that would be good collaborators with you.
That's cool.
I'm just like looking at all this stuff. I'm going like, you guys fucking thought it all out. There's a reason this project has been in development so long.
It's a long time, isn't it?
It's a huge project, a huge scope. And
it's basically its own platform.
It's a platform.
It's almost like its own console coming out.
And they've really thought about the details. And I'm sure they've had the experience with Little Big Planet community, but I think they're taking it to the next level.
Yeah. Well, because I never thought Little Big Planet was that good in terms of its curation and its tools. Like, I never played any games I thought were particularly good. It was always a bit of a shit. Like, it always failed to download when you're getting things.
I had a few friends that were really into the community, and but they would all be like, they'd be spending hundreds of hours building things with like funky effects. Yeah. The game was still not good. But it's like, oh, look, I made this amazing waterfall effect and everything. Sure, it maxes out the RAM instantly. It does all this. But like they were all about that stuff. Yeah. But the games themselves just never really got there. I mean, this is like, and also the sort of like downloading levels are seamless.
Yeah.
Like,
that's cool.
Everything's really fast and the back end seems very strong, which is, I suppose, what they're using the beta for at the moment. Yeah. Seeing how people use the tools and seeing how all that social stuff works together. Yes.
Anyway, what else? We got Psychonauts 2.
Yes, that's big on my list.
Yep.
Not a lot to say about it. I played through the VR game.
Oh, I haven't checked it out. How was it?
It's pretty shit. But, it reminded me that I like Psychonauts, so I'm looking forward to the next game.
Getting Rage 2 or Far Cry
looking forward to Rage 2.
Whichever one you prefer.
Rage 2 will play better. Look, we've played Far Cry 5 and you've played Rage 2. Which one had better shooting?
I like Far Cry 5 better.
What?
Yeah, legitimately I did.
Oh man, I had so much fun with Rage 2.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed the shooting in Far Cry 5.
Oh man, I just like as a superhero jumping around doing all sorts of shit.
The gunplay's good in 5. Far Cry 5 enjoyed it. No, they're both good.
Fine. Yeah. Like it's fine, but I mean, Rage 2 was getting near Doom levels.
Different thing, yeah.
It's pretty good.
Resident Evil 2.
Yes.
We're getting Sayonara Wild Hearts. I don't know what that is.
That was that was it the Game Awards that started off with? It's the Switch game. It's just a wild rhythm game. I thought it was weird that it started getting like there wasn't really much said about it, but everyone started putting it on a list because they were looking for a Switch exclusive to put up. I'm not sure. Maybe it was at a direct it started. I actually remember. I
actually don't know if it's out this year, but I expect it is.
What?
Honey Pop 2.
Oh, well, let's hope so.
I hope it's out this year.
Maybe Randy Pitchford could find out.
Do you see they put up their roster?
No.
Yeah.
Do you follow Honey Pop?
Oh yeah, I love Honey Pop.
I mean, no judgment. Yeah, judgment. Yeah. But
they've got a Muslim lady in there this time. Got like the scarf and everything. They've been inclusive, Paul.
I do subscribe to Repressed Gone Wild, so
they've been inclusive. No, that's all. Honey Pop was still one of my favorite games of 2016 or whenever it came out.
Of course it is, you filthy bastard.
Yeah, it's great.
Hades, which is already out.
But
it's not going to be finished for another year and a half.
Yeah, that's
technically it's a 2020 game.
Yeah, it's a Dead Cells to me.
Where it's already a good game, but it will be finished up an even better game
on Switch. So yes,
wait for it on Switch.
Yeah, it is already a good game.
Slay the Spire is going to be on Switch soon because they're doing it's about to leave early access on PC, and I don't think the Switch is far behind it.
Nice.
Oh, I've been waiting to play that, but I just know I'm not going to play it much on PC. But the Switch, it fits right in my hands.
There are so many games that come out now, which it's like, this is a Switch game. Like, I'm not going to buy it until you're on Switch. I'm sorry.
You know what a Switch game I bought was?
What's that?
It's a game called Spot the Difference Party.
You know what? I can see it.
And is Spot the Difference?
Do you play it in the screen and everyone play together?
Everyone plays together because my wife and I have been playing Spot the Difference on Facebook.
Yep.
And the problem is the pictures recycle quite quickly.
Yeah.
This has got like 360 pictures or something. It'll take a while to get through. And it just brings up the Spot the Difference. You've each got a cursor. And they only work at a maximum rate as well. Yeah. So you quite often will both see a difference, and you'll be racing to it to try and click on it.
This actually sounds like kind of amazing.
I think there's like 5 or 10, 5 to 10. It might be 5 changes per picture, and you've got like a minute to get them all.
Yeah,
and if you don't get them, it just like bombs out and says like, you didn't get them all, but who's the winner anyway? It's so simple. Yeah. Nearly all the photos are Creative Commons. They put like the original photographer and Creative like all the licensing whenever each photo comes up. I'm like, that's fine. Yep. Like it was like $5 or whatever, and I'm like, you know what? The only thing is the music is insufferable. Yeah. Just turn it.
Well, as a pitch, the moment you said Spot the Difference party, like I get it. Like and I can
take
see
1 second to teach anyone this game. Yeah. It is
you can
something that young and old can play.
You can do it while drunk.
Yep.
Yeah, I can see like...
You can do it when sober.
You can do it while sober. No, I actually think that's a very clever idea.
Yeah. I'm like... it's surprising how many like cheap, stupid games get on Switch that are then surprisingly well played.
You haven't bought Find My Friends yet, have you? Or Where Are My Friends?
Where Are My Friends? What's that?
It's the one made by... I thought it was made by a student team, but it's actually like some pair of developers out of, I think, Russia or something like that.
Oh, I think we've
mentioned I tried to show it to you.
Is that the one with the little red ball? Red wheel guy? Yeah. Is it any good?
See, like I bought it for $1 and it doesn't look good, but I started playing it and it was interesting to explore. Okay. So it's something where like... It's one of those games where there's very little written language.
Maybe a game club should become like only playing the cheapest crap. Yeah,
that's not a bad idea. So what I liked about it was it's one of those things where there's no language, there's not really any tutorials, but it was presented in a way that like you figure it out. Yeah. So you kind of like you get a gut instinct of like I think this means this. Oh, okay, it kind of does, and you kind of start to figure it out. Yeah. The bit where it lost me was it's one of those games where they've also decided it's going to have lots of different mechanics. And it got to the platformer. Now, you know, like I'm not particularly with platformers to start off with.
It's not your poison.
But this was one of the games where they balanced it for the person who made the level.
Oh, yes.
And so it got like it went from this really chill experience to like this was made and balanced by one person. And that's where it lost me. Like it had a good restart loop, like it was quick, but none of the levels were like the like jumping wasn't good enough. The platforming wasn't good enough to be compelling. And the levels weren't interesting enough to make me want to try and get through it. So I just stopped. Yeah. So I actually think you possibly like it.
Next time it's $1.
It's worth picking up for $1. Okay. Yeah, for sure.
I'll have it because I think I bought a lot of those dollar games.
Yeah.
Especially all like the shitty multiplayer ones. Like the Astro Bears and shit like that. I'm like, it's $1.
Oh, just very quickly while we're on Switch, we're kind of sidetracked anyway.
What are we pointing at?
Oh,
a piece of paper?
This one? No, I finally started playing Messenger.
Oh, yes.
And I do want to talk a little bit about it, even though we've spoken about it a fair bit in the past, but just more James's experience with the Messenger. Which
I found very interesting, because when I'm listening to the last podcast, you're like, oh, would I like it? I'm like, it's certainly on the edge.
Oh, it's on the edge. So, I know enough about my gaming habits to know there's a definite pattern to me hitting a new gameplay experience I'm not good at. Yes. It's met by very early frustration, and it needs to be a pretty compelling game for me to get over that.
I have a game for you to play after this.
I start playing the Messenger. It does introduce itself quite well. I think
the writing in the Messenger
is very good. It actually went on longer than I thought before getting to the Switch. Yeah. Because I think it was like 4 or 5 hours. I think it took me to get through.
I stopped before, like one level before
Just
the Switch.
before,
and I was like,
yeah.
I've had enough.
Yeah.
And it really was only one more level. And
Yeah.
done,
So there was definitely a huge wall of me getting over not being good.
Yes.
And like, I know that it's not like it's even a terribly difficult platformer. Cheryl was watching me, like in the context of platformers.
Yes.
Cheryl was watching me play it, getting real frustrated.
Yes.
Because she watches how I play. And I'm very like, you know how you just like run ahead?
Uh-huh.
That's what I do. Like, actually, that is how I play.
Oh, really?
I'm very by the seat of my pants. Like, she's like, Cheryl will be very like, I'm gonna like go slow, learn the patterns. Nah, fuck it. I'm just like, bloop, bloop, bloop. And she's like,
I'm like, new boss. Let's see what happens when I jump at its head. I die. Okay.
I clutch. So what happens is I throw my head against it haphazardly until I have a clutch victory.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's just how it works.
It's like it's like there's bullet hell games.
Yeah.
Like there's these bullets everywhere. Well, what if I just go this direction?
Yeah.
I made it. Yay,
And so
I'm the best at bullet hell.
What I found I really got into, and the reason so basically I've got through the first part. I'm now doing the second part. What kept me there is there was a even though it was quite long, like 4 or 5 hours it took me, there was a very like regular pattern.
Yes.
It's like new area, a few little sections, little checkpoints to learn it, big stretch that you have to beat, and then boss. That's the formula for every single section. And it was almost like once I realized that, I really liked it because I just knew what was coming. Like, it's like, okay, new area, gonna jump, learn some new things. Then there's gonna be a part which is probably gonna frustrate me, but I know when I finish that, there'll be a boss. Yeah. And the bosses generally I really liked. Probably my favorite one. Well, two favorite ones for two different reasons. My first favorite one was the Tower of Time boss.
Yeah.
And I really liked that one because I was fighting him and I was getting bored because I couldn't beat him. Like, it wasn't like I was dying because it was hard. It was like dying. It was more like a death of attrition.
Yeah.
Like, I was doing damage, but it's like 5-6 minutes or whatever. Like, and it wasn't until I realized I was doing it wrong. And like, it was like this realization of, I thought I understood the constraints of what I could do, but then suddenly I found I can do this, and I can do this, and this thing which I've been dodging for the last like 40 times, I can just avoid it.
Yeah.
Like, it's like this is really cool. Like, this was like a puzzle, and it was like it trapped me into thinking that I was doing it right when I was doing it wrong. And then as soon as I figured out, like, holy shit, there's another 5 or 6 ways I can tackle this boss, I beat it easy. I was like, oh, cool, okay, I get it.
Well, Messenger was very much a game where I'd go against a boss and I would be almost killing it. Oh, fuck. And then I would get through it without taking a hit.
Yeah.
Like, by the time I actually could beat it, I understood it and I could beat it almost perfectly.
I think most of them, because I'm not being very good at platformers, I still would just kind of scrape through, but it would never kind of reach a point where, like, normally I'd kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
The other boss I did really like was the general boss.
Yeah.
Because that was just a get good boss. Like, there wasn't really much of a thing to figure out. Like, there was a certain move you could do which kind of made it a little bit easier.
Yeah, which I'd never worked out in my first place.
Yeah, and after a while, just through... Because I think it was probably about 50 goes on that boss. Like, I was watching that.
Yeah.
And this is when I was on holiday as well. Like, I was just basically like, again. And then it'd be like 10 times in, I'm like, okay, all right, let's walk away for now. Come back 15.
De-stress.
Again. And I like that boss because there was this definite skill increase.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like the reason I'd come back was because I get a little bit further. And again, so I knew that, like, there wasn't like a trick. It was just the get good boss. And it was very satisfying when I eventually kind of took him out. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So yeah, I was surprised how much I liked it. Once I got past that initial, I hate things I'm not good at.
Yeah.
And I know that's just my behavior.
Yes.
Yeah. And so that's why, like, if there's something which I think I will enjoy long term, I'll just try to, because I'll rant to you a bit.
Oh, yeah.
And
I was very much enjoying your ups and downs.
Yeah.
I mean, my initial impression was like, man, I did not say buy this.
No. And I think it's a testament to that game that this is not a genre I enjoy.
No.
But it's kind of put together in such a way that I actually did find it accessible and compelling. Whereas something like, say, Super Meat Boy, I think that's a game where I'll just reach a point where I'm like, I'm out. Yeah. Like, but this always felt like, okay, I'm just on the cusp of being able to do it. And so yeah, it was really satisfying when I beat
Guacamelee 2 did that a bit for me with some of its requirements for some skill stuff, but the whole time I was playing it, because you were playing through Messenger, I'm like, boy, if James has hating parts of the Messenger, this game he just fucking despise.
Yeah, I think
there are so many buttons to use, so many abilities. Because
I think one of the things I complaining with the Messenger was like, I've got like these 2 things I can do. And they're used in kind of different ways, and I'm having to figure out like ways to press the buttons. Like it's getting me to like, okay, if I want to do this,
you're starting to claw a little bit.
When
you want to glide, but then grapple.
Yeah, so I'm kind of doing, and my thumbs were getting sore because I actually legitimately had to start using the buttons
in
a way.
Me basically, you got one ability, and you said like it's an ability too many. I said, which one? Okay, I think that's the last one.
But then I kind of realized like, all right, now I've got 2 abilities. Really, they can kind of combine with main abilities and like not too many ways, and like, okay, I kind of like get it now. It's not so bad, and I like that. That's it. It's like, okay, cool, done. Then like it was interesting because like I got to the Switch part and the game changes. And
but at that point, the structure's still pretty similar at that Switch. Unless then there's a second
I didn't
Switch.
okay, I haven't got to the second Switch yet.
Oh, have you?
I just got to the bit where you read the scroll.
Yes, that's the second Switch.
Oh, okay, that's the Switch I got to. Yeah. That's the one I'm at now.
Oh, okay. So the first Switch people refer to when you get the where you get the ability to go between where you get the 16-bit graphics.
Oh, okay. Then I'm at the third Switch.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'm at that bit now. And
a lot of people fall off at it.
Well, I did first off with, because it's basically at that point, it's like you've been giving me this game where it's actually quite casual accessible, because it's like, right, I know the structure of the levels I'm going to play through. I know it's probably going to take me, say, 20 minutes to 45 minutes. It's probably somewhere in there to get through it. I know what it is. I know what I'm in for. And then it's sort of like, oh, here's a new thing. And so I was like,
it's almost a different genre.
Yeah, it's like, this is a different game now. And so I kind of put it down. But then just like about a week ago, I was like, oh, I'll go back to it. And instantly I'm like, okay, I still feel like I have some level of mastery over the controls. To get to this point, I've had to.
Yes.
And then I sort of found, oh, okay, it's actually, there's a hint, and I solve the thing, and I get a thing, and I go do that some number of times. It still actually is like quite a structured like little chunk that I can go, oh, okay, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this.
You can sort of sequence break to an extent, but you are sort of like, yes, you're right. It still has a little bit with that, but just a bit more of a self-directed.
And I kind of like that there tends to be a bit of like a run of a challenge to kind of do this little thing. I assume there's more bosses later.
Yes.
I kind of miss them at the moment, because that was one of the things I'd look forward to with the bosses.
There's some fun bosses. At
But yeah, it's been an interesting journey. Playing it.
So another game that I've been playing this last week, Feudal Alloy.
I seen you playing that, and I looked at it and was like, "This is a pole game."
Yeah. So it is a brutally difficult. Would be a little bit rough to call it. It is certainly tuned to be a bit meaner to its player. Metroidvania to a degree. You are, of course, the old fish in a steampunk.
Fish in a steampunk, robot.
Yeah.
That old
that old chestnut.
Yeah. That tired trope.
And you are exploring this world with very, very, very little direction. And you have 2 main resources. So basically you can attack, but every time you attack, you build up heat. So if you attack too much, you overheat, and then you can't do anything. So it's like a stamina that you're constantly having to balance. But then things in the environment, like if you're in a hot level, they'll also make you heat up and you can't attack anymore and stuff like that. The beginning of the game is a real trial by fire, because you are quite squishy. You don't hit that hard. You will end up throwing yourself against the wall. It's one of those things that I think is kind of bad design here, where say there's a boss, and there's only I've really only fought one actual boss. The other bosses are more like wave-based rooms that you go into. So you got to save point before it. You might be quite a way away from the store, because you can buy some like basically there's health packs and there's things that can reduce your heat level. And there's grenades. So there's consumables. So you go in, you fight, you fail, you respawn. Consumables you used. And they don't. It's not like Dark Souls, because it's almost a Dark Souls thing in its structure and parts. You don't refill your health vials. They just. So if you're slamming yourself against a boss and you're having to take a health vial halfway through, after a few trials, you don't have any health bars anymore, and you don't have any real easy way of getting any more. And it's like,
so it's getting harder.
It's actually getting harder. And the thing is, what I eventually learned is that if I'm doing boss fights and everything, I just don't use any consumables.
Oh, just sort of...
Because by the time I learn the patterns to beat them, I won't need them.
Yeah.
And up until that point, it's just a desperate... Like, I've used them a couple of times where it's like, they're almost dead. And look, if I just quickly swing it down. And half the time I die when I'm taking the drink. So it's like, it's not really worth it half the time. So yeah, I thought that was a little bit rough. But it's an interesting thing of the game. The game does kind of get easier as you go along. I've got quite a few new abilities, and I'm starting to get armor and stuff that really reduce a lot of my flaws. And whilst there's tougher enemies, I am exponentially tougher than I was before. So they are easier to beat than the regular enemies were at the beginning of the game. So you do get sort of you do start to overcome your flaws, and you become a more powerful, competent character, as well as being more skilled at the game. Probably the only thing that I'm not a big fan of, and it always takes a bit to, because most games don't do this these days, is that it's enemies hurt on touch.
Oh, okay, not when they swing a weapon.
Not on attack.
Yeah.
So attack hurts you even more, but you can't like roll through an enemy or whatever. It's like, no, it's going to hurt you. Which can really, when you're not that mobile...
That is really less of a thing these days, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty standard thing, really, when you think of games overall. But yeah, just walking up to an enemy and just physically touching it, hurting you and stunning you or whatever. It's like, not really most games these days. There's a little bit I don't enjoy it as a throwback. But I am... Like, I had a few like real throwing myself against the wall moments in this game, but then I overcome them and I feel pretty good. Yeah. So I'm actually enjoying it quite a lot.
I think I'll stick to Messenger
at
the moment. That seems to be about the sweet spot for me.
I 100% would not recommend Feudal Alloy for you. It's got a nice style to it. But yeah, there's a lack of guidance and just some bits where you just really... Yeah. You're really fucked. Yeah. I'm like, do I really have to do this? Oh, God. Yeah. But no, it's a fun little thing. It's one of those things that made me go like, this game is good. I can't wait to see what you make next. That might be really good.
Yeah. All right, I'll give a few more. Yep. Sea of Solitude. Don't know what that one is. That's one you listed down.
Sea of Solitude is...
The pirate game we finally want?
No. It's I think it's coming out as an Ubi Art game. I got to check. Yeah, it's like... Yeah. I can't give you details off the top of my head. I wrote this list a few weeks ago.
Sekiro... Just Die Twice.
Yes.
Getting that. Not actually on this list, but coming out quite soon. We're getting Sunless Skies. Follow-up to Sunless Seas.
Isn't that in early access?
Yeah, because they're very much an early access kind of model, the way they develop. Really enjoy Sunless Skies, Sunless Seas. So yeah, nice to see kind of the...
Dying Light 2 is out this year. We should finish Dying Light 1. We're so close. And I've got a grappling hook. Yeah,
we should. Did I have the grappling hook yet?
No.
No, that's right.
That's why you stopped playing. You were like, this sucks, Paul. You got a grappling hook. I'm like, I do.
Shenmue 3.
Yeah, that I am so excited.
Yeah, you're so excited to see the reaction to it.
What I loved is there were some comments the other day about Shenmue 3, which was that the director saying, it's even bigger than Shenmue 2. I'm like, no, what are you doing? No. The only way this game was going to work is if you made this smaller. What the fuck is going on? So I cannot wait to see what it's going to be. Yep. Brilliant.
I'm expecting Trainwreck.
I look, if there's any god, it'll be a Zardoz. It'll be so infinitely ambitious and just unbelievable what they choose to do. I mean, the worst thing it'll be is boring.
Yes,
which it likely will be part because Shenmue is boring in its concept.
Go drive that forklift.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, like it could be the Red Dead 2 of our time.
That's not Red Dead 2. Less lynch mobs attacking African Americans and women.
I mean, Japanese have their own forms of racism.
No.
No, Paul, they're a perfect society. Man, the big medical college in Japan just had a whole bunch of funding pulled from them because they were actively discriminating against female applicants.
That sounds like Japan.
Yeah. Let's go more into Japanese politics, which I know a lot about. Yeah. I've almost said everything I know about Japanese politics.
Are getting Spelunky too?
Yep.
We shouldn't have too much to say about Skull and Bones as well.
In the Valley of the Gods is apparently coming out this year. I don't believe it. I think it'll be next year. But because that's the follow-up to Firewatch.
Yep.
Because they've only just shifted to Valve, and so
Yeah.
now they've got Valve time. So I mean, that's not real time. We'll see. Yeah. Kingdom Hearts 3 is out very, very soon.
Yeah, that one's real close.
Life is Strange 2 comes out probably, I think, by the time this recording will be live.
Like, finally done?
Well, the second episode.
See, I'm actually now just waiting for it all to be done.
I like playing these episodically. I do understand people wanting to do that. But I find when I get like a full one, it's too much. And I don't
because the way I played, the first one was basically Cheryl and I she watched me play it, and we discuss it as we were playing. So that's what I'm kind of waiting for. It's like just get it all in one thing, and we can just like over a few weeks.
Yeah, I think you'll be looking at end of the year.
Yeah, I'm not in a rush because I think I'm going to enjoy it.
So far it's been solid, but the overall what's going to be its hook isn't fully revealed yet.
Okay.
So because obviously there'll be some sort of power involved, and we've seen
that from the what are the adventures of Captain?
Not really. It's
whatever.
a bit different.
Oh, okay.
But apparently the second episode is going to tie in with
back to the Spirit. Okay, cool.
But yeah, like we've sort of seen it, but we don't know what its gameplay implementation is going to be, and it will be a great disappointment if it isn't really gameplay orientated the way they.
Like the first one was.
Because the first one, the time travel power was so much tied in. It's like Boulder
Dash.
Bandersnatch.
Yeah.
I like Bandersnatch, where the story is about the mechanic.
Yeah.
And that is so integral to what Life is Strange is. If the second one doesn't pull that off in some way, whilst I'm sure it'll still be a good story and well put together, it lacks something. My most excited game, Luigi's Mansion 3.
I probably should play one of those.
Wait for the third one.
Yeah.
Because the second one is like the first one, but cut up into smaller chunks. The third one's supposed to be open all again, like a bigger world to explore. Yeah. And it'll look good and it'll be on the Switch. Yeah. So, sold.
Getting new Stranger Things game. Stranger Things 3, the game.
Have you seen?
I wasn't not that keen on it.
But like that turnaround had to be so fast.
Oh, I'm sure. Like it looks like it was made very quickly.
Yeah, because the backstory for those who don't know is that Stranger Things the game was about to be a Telltale game.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Then Telltale.
Yeah.
So they went, holy fuck! Who wants to make a game real quick? And then 2 weeks later, they showed it at the Game Awards.
Yeah, it looked like it. It looked like it.
Yeah, it's a real RPG maker of a game.
Yep. Division 2.
You'll enjoy that.
I am looking forward to some more Division 2.
Maybe they'll have the guts to say nothing at all.
That sounds like an Ubisoft thing to do.
Well, they literally said that they weren't making any political statements.
Yeah.
I'm like, it is a game about politics.
Yep.
It's like literally if you made like President Election 2018 the game and then said, that's not political.
Yeah, no.
We're not going to say anything about it. It's just about two people having a talk. It's My Dinner with Andre, although that's still political. My Dinner with Andre is more political. Let's have a chat about that. That's right. There's a Mario Kart game coming out this year.
Oh, the mobile one.
You remember?
Yeah, I do remember that.
I was so hoping that you forgot it.
No, I had forgotten till you reminded me.
Oh my god.
I'm curious to see what that is.
Oh, I'm curious. I am going to play it once and go like, oh, okay, that's okay, and then never play it again.
No. We'll see.
I mean, I played several levels of that Mario game. And I played almost to the end of the tutorial of the Fire Emblem game.
Oh, Cheryl plays so much of that.
Of course she did.
All the time. Last of Us Part 2? Probably.
Which weirdly isn't actually confirmed for this year.
Oh, okay. I haven't finished Last of Us Part 1. So
I will be shocked if it's not out this year. But it's possible it's not.
Ever since I lost my save in Part 1, I just didn't have the steam to go back and do it again.
I actually didn't enjoy Part 1 very
much. I didn't really like it.
Well, I guess we just call it Last of Us.
Yeah, Last of Us.
It was not subtitled Part 1.
No.
It would be very presumptuous of them.
I mean, like Naughty Dog combat, I never liked.
No.
And it had its stealth I didn't like. And like the way I play through any kind of Naughty Dog action is just like, what is the easiest difficulty I can put this game on, please?
That's what was good about 4.
Yeah.
You basically made the game play itself.
Yeah. Whereas with Last of Us, even on its easiest difficulty, there was still kind of like insta-death moments.
Yes.
And I got kind of frustrated at those. Because like, I'm not there for your action, Last of Us. Just let me skip it, please.
I kind of just, with all Naughty Dogs, I mean, it's kind of funny. I suppose it's Red Dead 2 and everything, that they want to give people value for money.
Yeah.
They want to give these very large narratives, very sweeping. And it's like, you know what I could deal with? You can cut half of this game out, maybe even 2/3.
I really like when BioWare got really good at that with Mass Effect games, but they were like, look, are you here for the story? Because if you're here for the story, pick this option, and you didn't have to worry about any of that action bullshit. Because a large portion of my audience are just here for that goddamn story.
Yeah.
So, I kind of want that out of
I always want like JRPGs and everything. It's like, okay, instead of an 80-hour game, how about you give me a 15-hour game?
Yeah.
But just take away most of it.
Yeah. Like, I still want it. I still want to like be engaged in your thing.
Yeah. Like, I want to see the systems, but I don't need to get that deep in it necessarily. It's like, just skip all that. Like, have you got a cool like card game that you play? Like, don't ever show it to me. Imagine if you start Witcher 3 and there's an option at the front. It's like difficulty, and then it's like Gwent, yes, no.
Yeah. How good was it in Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis? The sucker punch button.
Oh, genius.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to engage with this system. Was it insert or numpad 0 or something? We just win. Everyone.
We should do Fate of Atlantis is amazing classic game that a lot of people probably don't know why it's so interesting.
Yeah,
I don't know if the time is now to dig into it, but the general gist of it is so Fate of Atlantis is an old style LucasArts adventure game like Monkey Island, except literally at one point it asks you what kind of game you want to play, and you can play it 3 different ways: an action game, as a puzzle game, or as
kind of a co-op,
or like more of an adventure, I guess. I think it's like adventure thinking.
So it's either, and that basically it's either you fight more, you're by yourself, or you.
And they all still have like a little bit of everything mixed into it. But the thing is, it's not just that it changes. The actual narrative is different in each of those 3 paths. You'll still go to the same areas, but you have different reasons. You might have different forms of transport, different things around, and like. It's like great replayability.
Oh, there was a definite reason to replay that game 3 times. Yeah, like it wasn't like completely different, but it was a different enough experience. Yeah, that you're like, oh, okay, this is like, this feels
very
different.
Impressive, very cool, and pretty like a good Indiana Jones story. They should have just stolen it for the 4th movie.
Oh yeah.
It would be. I guess he's the wrong age, but whatever.
We have the Outers.
Oh, the 2 Outers.
The 2 Outers.
So we have not mentioned the Outer Worlds.
Yeah, Outer Wilds is our darling.
Yeah, so Outer Wilds I've talked about many times. And when it came up, Outer Worlds was it Game Awards?
It was Game Awards, yeah.
I was like, oh, Outer Worlds, the what?
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, man, I kind of think it's a bullshit name to pick.
Yeah.
Because there is absolutely no way that they do not know.
They didn't know about it. It is so close. Like it's so.
It's like it's a game that's already coming out this year, and you're like, and like it's not that your name's bad. I mean, it's good too, but it's like it's so close. Yeah. And you know, there's going to be confusion and people like the mainstream are going like they'll see Outer Wilds and go like it's fucking rip off things. Like, you got to give them some annoying. Like it's not going to matter. Like it's still going to be a good game. It's still going to have its audience. But it's like it's just going to be a little bit of annoying confusion. And bullshit.
I like both these things, and I'm confused.
So Outer Worlds, where fucking
Brian Fargo is he actually doing it in
Exile?
I don't think
no, it's not in Exile. It's
it is like original Fallout creators.
Yeah, it's shit. What's the studio? It's the New Vegas studio.
Obsidian.
Yes,
it's Obsidian. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So Obsidian is making, let's call it Firefly the game.
Yep.
It is an RPG in space, a little bit of Western theme to it. It's a little bit kooky. Some people are like, it's a bit Borderlands-ish. I said, shut your fucking mouth. There's a bit of action to it, but it's still essentially an RPG. It's supposed to be quite a small universe that you're going. There's a couple of planets and locales on that, so it's supposed to be quite a concise story and area. It looks very, very nice. It looks, so far so good.
Yeah, like I look at it like, one of the things that like new Fallout never really got from original Fallout was that like it was sort of, it was never quite that kind of like World of Tomorrow like theme that they really leaned into real heavily with 3 and 4. It was sort of like a bit of a crazy wacky world, the original like Fallout 1 and 2. Yeah, it's a kind of world where people will be running around doing Monty Python rip-offs. So it's nice to see that levity, kind of like the world's not taking itself too seriously, kind of come in. And instead of them going for like that World of Tomorrow stuff, it feels more like they're going for that kind of like space adventure kind of feel. So it still feels like they're leaning into a retro theme.
Yeah, a bit anachronistic.
But not like it's not their crutch like that I get out of like kind of the modern Fallouts.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's
maybe
cool.
they'll do them as a double pack.
Maybe that'd be cool. That actually would be really cool.
Actually, I'm not sure about Outer Wilds release at the moment because it is listed on Epic's Game Store as a release there, so I don't know if it's coming to other places. But I think Annapurna is releasing it, so yeah. We'll see what they do. Other things coming through. I'm almost at the bottom of this list. You seem to be going through a lot of the games. I'm skipping a lot of them.
I'm gonna skip through more, especially because I don't know what they are. Surge 2.
Yeah, nothing else really.
Surge 2. Super keen on that. Getting multiplayer in this one. Surge 1 was great. I actually finished it. I got good and finished. I enjoyed that game a lot. Well, we're actually getting Walking Dead Season 3 because thanks. Epic. They picked it up. Who were they picked up?
No, basically...
Wasn't it something like we said we're going to finish it now?
Yeah, the studio's just... it's like the studio that Kirkland owns or something. Yeah, I think like they're already tied in with Walking Dead. But what you did skip there was the very, very exciting re-release of the Stanley Parable.
Oh, yeah.
With new content, which is great. Because I played through Accounting Plus the other day.
Want new Stanley Parable to be different because I've played the last one. And it's...
Oh, but I mean, it matters what platform.
Let's say get it on PC.
PC on that.
I want there to actually be an experience that only I can get. That if you haven't already played it, I want there to be something. Or they patch the first one, so I have to go back into the first game to do something.
They should do something. That sounds very much like. I need to check who's actually involved with it because I think, because the two creators.
Yeah,
you had. One went off and did Beginner's Guide, and one went off and did like...
So you've done Accounting Plus now.
Yeah, which I thought was terrible. There were a few scenes I thought were funny, but like, no, this you... Because, I mean, I think that's the other Stanley... I wish I had my phone to double check it. But that's the other Stanley Parable creator. He went off and did Crows with
Rick and Morty.
Mr. Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Not
Justin Roiland.
Justin Roiland.
Justin Roiland.
And otherwise went off and did Beginners. I got to see what he's up to because I loved Beginners.
Yeah, Beginners was really good. Yeah.
But so Parable's getting like a facelift. It's been put on console.
That's good.
It's a new concert.
Cheryl hasn't played it, so
yeah, I'm always telling people to give it a shot.
Yeah, I'll probably throw it in front of her.
Go play this. I would like to. I meant to do it back in the day, which is sort of do an episode, maybe just a spin-off thing, where I've got a few friends that are sort of like literary doctorates and stuff and are in no way interested in games. They're into pop culture and stuff and they're not against games. It's just not their culture. And so I want to give them both Stanley and Beginner's Guide.
Okay.
I think that would be a very interesting introduction for someone on that side because especially Beginner's Guide is basically looking at games as literature and then also in a meta way. It's very
Beginner's Guide is very good.
Yeah.
It's very good.
I finished my list. I don't care about any of the other games.
Oh, cool. Wolfenstein Youngblood. I'm looking forward to that.
Interesting.
And Yoshi's Crafted World.
Good. Complete. That's 2019.
Yeah,
finished
done.
100%.
Oh, yeah. What else up with here? Oh, they're all just like movies and things.
Yeah, movies are coming. Cause
the story of Yanzi Palace. You've been watching that one?
Oh, I had no idea what I said. I don't remember typing this in.
No, I typed that one in.
And I looked it up and I said, I don't know what this is.
No, it's fantastic.
What is it?
So it was the most Googled show of last year.
Say the name again.
The story of Yanzi Palace.
Yeah.
So it's a Chinese period drama, which you can watch on YouTube because you can't watch it on their official Chinese thing.
You mean China didn't open something up to the world?
No. It's very much a response to the Me Too movement. So it's a bit of an oddity in like Chinese media.
Oh, I do not know what to expect from that from China.
Because the main character is a very empowered lady.
Yeah.
And so it's been doing incredibly well in China because this is just not something that traditionally they get by having these really strong female characters. And so it's like kind of the story of back in, I don't know the exact year, but basically like an old kind of Chinese palace where back when the emperor had the harem.
1998.
98. Yeah. And it's sort of like a woman who's sort of coming in to kind of investigate a murder. And anyway, it's just like a drama. But what's been fascinating to me is that I'm learning now all these like Chinese tropes of Chinese media. Like they're very much not big on, like, say, compared to like Game of Thrones, because I think it's actually kind of comparable in terms of like cultural impact. Like they're a big thing in China. And you look at like the what's really big in China, and like they're very much not about gore and not about sex. Like these things happen, but it's like if someone's beaten, there'll be like a single line of blood down the thing, or like if there's sex, it'll be like they'll kind of start initiation, like they'll never be anything sexy.
Or if someone's turned on, there'll be a single line of blood. No, that's Japan, sorry.
Yeah, they'll like, you know, like you'll never have someone like someone in their bra. You know, like it's just not that. It'll be like they'll be very nicely, and the costuming is amazing in it. But yeah, so it's like it's this kind of interesting kind of like cultural experience, which I don't normally see, like this kind of storytelling. The story itself is quite engaging. The characters are pretty cool. The subtitles, because they're hastily subtitled, sometimes like they start getting like really loosey-goosey with their things. Like they start getting like a more modern vernacular, like the way people speak. And then other times they kind of like someone else has done it. So it's, you know, they're not saying like WTF, like, you know, they're saying something else. But you still get the gist of like what's going on. But yeah, the lens that I'm watching it is because like Cheryl's been working night shifts, and so we're kind of on different patterns. So occasionally I'll watch some stuff, like because she's watching it, I'll go, oh cool, I'll watch it. But as I'm watching it, I'll have to like ask, like, what's this character doing? What's this character doing? What's this character doing?
You're one of those.
Yeah, but I have to know, like, because like I'm actually engaged in the show, but there's like 70 episodes of it, and I've seen like a quarter of it so far. But I want to know, like, oh, did she solve this? And she was like, oh yeah, this was solved, like blah 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 blah. I think if you're interested in a very popular show from another culture, and you can just watch it on YouTube, it's Story of Yanzi Palace.
Like 8.5 bit.
Much like 8.5 bit. It is an interesting watch. It's
Give me my list.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, Story of Yanzi Palace. Okay, let's do a quick rundown of recent movies. Into Spider-Verse, good.
Yeah,
Republic
that was good.
Returns, bad. Widows, good. Favorite, good. Aquaman, funny.
That'll be a Netflix, so let's wait for that one.
Glass, Charlemagne. There we go. That's okay. So I'll sell you on Aquaman in 3 points.
All right.
At 1 point,
yep.
Main character wakes up on a boat, and the other main character is playing a flute.
All right. I'm 33% there. Keep going.
One of the main characters is suddenly wearing cosplay of a monster.
All right. Almost convinced.
In the final battle,
yeah, a
giant crab opens itself out to release lice to attack everyone.
I'm there. This sounds amazing.
Some people think it takes itself too seriously. I don't know if it does. I mean, it's got some shit in it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Well, it's a DC movie. I expect there's going to be shit.
But the highlights...
Yeah.
Okay. Here's my fourth one.
Okay.
So much happens under the sea.
Yeah.
So people don't walk away in a conversation. They float away. So every time someone moves in a scene, imagine there's a grip with a dolly, and like... Willem Dafoe is like just being pushed away from the sea. He's like, goodbye! I don't know how they did it, but that's exactly how they did it in my head. Just people in green suits just pushing them around. Here we go. It's the best movie. Yeah.
I'll watch it. I'll watch it eventually.
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to hurt you.
No.
Probably not.
I'm sure I will put it on Netflix, and I'll watch it, and I will have an okay time.
Okay, so thank you for watching and listening to 8.5bit. You can go to our website, 8.5bit.com, our Twitter, our Facebook. Please like and share anything like that. Subscribe to us on iTunes, and if you do, please leave us a review. Your reviews help us share the love and watch and join our Discord, which is like discord.8.5bit.com.
Yeah, you can join Cal if we do the live stream again.
Thing. Yes, shows current schedule still up in the air, working out stuff. If we're going to do new different formats and everything, you know, if you want to be involved in stuff, we're not particularly precious. Thanks for joining us. I've been your host, Paul.
I've been James.
Catch you later, kids.
Thanks, everyone.
Bam. Click.